and the pain's not about to stop. So you get bum and pretty much resign to live with it. Well, speaking from experience, I can tell you that arch supports from the Good Feet store can help. Good Feet arch supports for back pain? Absolutely. We think it's time you felt good again. So come to the Good Feet store and get a free fitting and test walk. Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville. Online, goodfeet.com.
The Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE. It's electrified.
Boogie, woogie, woogie.
So you can boogie woogie woogie into the forest.
Boogie.
Boogie woogie woogie through the mud. Or boogie woogie woogie to work, where you boogie woogie woogie down the hall to your boss's office to tell him you quit.
Sure got the boogie.
Then you boogie woogie woogie to the elevator as he boogie woogie woogies after you, begging, please, take me with you. The electrified Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE. Learn more at Jeep.com. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
At the end of your first year, Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned doubled. All the cash back from eating at your favorite soup dumpling restaurant doubled. All the cash back from that trip where you sort of learned to snowboard also doubled. And the best part, you don't have to do anything ridiculous to get it. Nope, Discover does it automatically. Serious though. See terms. Check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
It's the President's Day Sell-a-thon at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop your truck headquarters right now for limited time events, specials, and top dollar for all trades. Visit FolsomLakeFord.com. That's FolsomLakeFord.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Chris VERLOD with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are off until next week, but will have plenty of representation in Salt Lake City for the All-Star weekend. On Friday, Kings rookie Keegan Murray will play in the Rising Stars game. Saturday, Kevin Huerter will take part in the three-point contest. And on Sunday, Domas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox will play in the All-Star game. Chris Watkins and Frankie Cartoscelli will be on the ground in Salt Lake City and covering everything on SactownSports.com. Boston Celtics president of basketball operations Brad Stevens announced today that interim head coach Joe Mazzulla has officially been named the team's head coach and was given a contract extension. Mazzulla was named the interim head coach when the team suspended then head coach Ime Udoka for the season, and he has guided the team to a 42-17 record, which currently leads the league. It is 11 o'clock, which means it's time for Deuce and Mo.
live from Sacramento.
It's Deuce and Mo
On Sactown Sports.
We are live. Happy Thursday, Deuce, Mason, Morgan, Reagan. The final show for us until Tuesday.
Hello. Wow.
Yeah, it's a little weird to say, but hey, we don't mail it in.
No, we don't.
No, we just have to jam everything into one giant sports ball.
Yeah.
Get
Jam it in the ball.
together.
And then shoot it or dunk it.
Dunk that ass.
So
I don't do
dumb.
layups personally.
No layups. No
No layups, baby.
How are you doing today, huh?
Me?
I feel great.
I'm really good. I do have a friend joining us today.
I'm sorry?
Yes, it's called a stress zit. It's the size of a human being, and it's on my forehead right now. So if you hear it talking, I'll shut it up.
To be honest, you didn't have to point it out because literally you can see it's pretty big.
I put a little T-shirt on it today, dressed it up
Did you
for the
notice
show.
it, Chris?
I didn't.
Oh, yes.
I 100% I didn't.
Well, I think part of the reason is he's been told not to stare into Morgan's eyes.
That's true.
She's just very uptight, and you just can't. Yeah, you have to be careful with that.
Wait,
Well,
what? No.
that's the one. I mean, getting zits when you're old, you're just like, when does this end?
Dude,
you know, I
well-
get them sometimes. I'm like, I thought like the teenage stuff was over.
In just like, can I be honest segment right now?
my
You know,
goodness.
obviously women and their cycle and everything, hormones, like sometimes you'll get some of those things happen on your face. But like, it rarely happens for me. And this is when I know it's like, uh-oh, mental health check popping up through my forehead right now.
The thing with you though, you kind of like it though.
Oh, I love it.
Because
Give me a little blemish.
yeah, Chris. If you ever have a zit, let Morgan pop it. She'll do it for you.
Oh,
Please.
I
It's
know.
disgusting.
What's the show that you watch?
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yes.
I'll pop the crap
I mean,
out of that pimple.
imagine-
I've
being
known
that person.
that about you for quite some time.
Thank you.
Well, I love so much that the chat is already popping at youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. And everyone is kind of debating about the poll question I put up today. You know, it's All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
And I saw something on social media a little while back. I'm like, this is a great question.
This
and
is
it's something that we'll probably sprinkle in throughout the day, and I'll get people's perspective.
Okay.
Which are you picking? You can make $1 million by scoring on a 5th grader.
Uh-huh.
You can make $10 million by scoring on an 8th grader.
Yep.
Scoring a varsity player, $50 million. You score on an NBA player, $500 million.
Woo!
Think about it. We don't need answers right now. We don't need it, but the poll question, I'm going to give you the right now, the lead, the 8th grader for $10 million.
When do you want to know who I voted for?
I don't want to know right now.
Okay,
we are saving it. I'm just going to say.
I also have some questions to add to that.
Trust me, I have a full breakdown.
Yes.
We have a full breakdown of this because it's a big topic. But right now, at the moment, scoring on an 8th grader for $10 million is the lead. That's wrong. We'll talk about it today.
Don't tell us what's right or wrong. We'll tell you.
Morgan, there's so much to talk to, especially NBA wise. Domas Sabonis, he was on with us last week, but he also did an interview with our buddy Sam Amick over at The Athletic. And, you know, Sabonis is not exactly a guy that opens up all the time.
No.
Kind of keeps his emotions in check.
Very political.
Very political, right? Well, not like.
No.
Political. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like.
What would that be?
He's not campaigning for politicians. He's just not going to say anything wrong, right? He's going to make sure he gives the bare minimum. Hey, team's going in the right direction. I love it here. Anyway, he talked about his future. He also talked about his ever-evolving relationship with Mike Brown. I think there's a lot to take away from that we have to talk about today.
Oh, no. There's I told you this before the show. I felt like almost in every single answer of his, there were so many different things to break down. And when you hear a great basketball player talk the way that he did in this piece, you want to break every single thing down. What are you laughing about?
I just love the chat. Scott and IPH were like, oh, you mean diplomatic? Maybe that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, there we go.
He's very political.
I meant political answers.
Calculated?
Yep. All these words are much better. Again, stress pimple, can't remember words.
If you're in the chat, by the way, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. It just helps the channel grow. Also, make sure you're subscribed. Sactown Sports 1140 reached over 6,000 subs. That's great stuff. Live and local, 6A to 6P. I love it.
I love that. It just did that in 3 weeks. That's amazing. Amazing.
You know, I feel like today after the show, I'm going to be like Patrick Mahomes. Did you guys see Patrick Mahomes yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Wait.
If you guys have not seen Patrick Mahomes at the Chiefs parade, just search it. He's on the bus chugging beer. He's got a WWE World Heavyweight Championship around his waist. And at one point, he looked like he was about to fall off the bus.
A guy had to hold him up.
Yeah.
Man.
He deserves it. Probably, you know what? I'll be honest too. Can I be honest? I hope he's not taking any painkillers for his ankle and he's just allowing the drinks to carry him through. No, because when I saw him out there, I was just like, oh God, I hope he's smart because he's not going to feel good tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
He's not going to feel good today.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? He's not human.
That's true.
Like this guy is playing on a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Then he re-injures it in the game. They had him mic'd up for that. He's making, oh my God. And he goes, I'm fine.
Yeah.
What? So he could probably be the guy that's swaying, nearly falling off a bus at a parade and then be like, yeah, I'm good the next day. Probably got a workout in.
No. His ankle is perfect the next day. He's good to go, ready for the next season. Yeah, it was fun to see him though. I love seeing these athletes in those championship parades and seeing them get a little wild. It's they're loose. They're just being they're not their true selves necessarily.
It is interesting how we publicly we accept that as sports fans.
Yes.
If Patrick Mahomes, let's just say it was a Thursday night in the middle of the season.
At a club.
You just saw him just swaying, whether a bar, club, or out in the street, we'd be like, dude, he's not focused on the game. But because it's a parade, It's all good. I was at the Giants World Series parade in 2012.
Wow.
I was in front of like the stage, just
He was
waiting
on
for
one of the buses.
I was not like literally in the parade. I
Yeah.
was at the parade in downtown San Francisco, and we went to like the main stage, and you're just standing there all day waiting for the speeches to happen. We just do weird things at parades. Like people are drinking beer, people are smoking.
Yeah.
I had a
In
friend,
San Francisco?
No, I know, but I had a friend that was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. She went in the bottle. I'm like, we accept
'cause you
things at
probably
parades.
couldn't get
No,
to a
you
bathroom.
couldn't. So like these
Whoa.
players, like no other time is it acceptable for a player to be like just getting absolutely blasted on camera. By the way, there's like news stations like, oh, look at Patrick Mahomes just enjoying a championship celebration. It's like, no, he is completely wasted right now.
Do we socially accept this? Because it's like, you just said it. You just said it, Deuce. You're like, man, after this last show, I'm going to be looking like Patrick Mahomes. Like after
Remember
hard
Tom Brady?
work, yes, that's what I'm saying. Hard work or successful things happen in your life, or maybe even a championship comes into your life. It's like, as a society, we just go, you deserve to get drunk.
Yeah.
Because to make it to that point, you have to put everything on hold.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
that next day, it's do whatever you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's especially as an NFL quarterback, dude, every week you have a game. Every week there's huge meaning to the game, right? Win or
Yeah.
lose. In Sacramento, we treat Kings games like football fans.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Right? Like where it's like every game matters, even though it's 82 games. Oh, there's 16 games. And on a Wednesday night, like Mahomes isn't going out and having fun.
No.
Mahomes is like, hey, I was at the office until 7. I'm going to be back there at 5 a.m. I'm getting treatment. I'm watching film. I'm meeting with the offensive coaches. Then I'm going through practice. They grind for, 25 weeks.
Yeah.
And just from the season and then all the offseason stuff. So you're right. It's just like you're letting loose at that point.
Letting loose, and hey, you deserve it. As long as you're staying safe, you deserve it. Drink lots of water.
I just love it. I saw Ross Tucker tweet it and it's like, this is just not. There are kids watching this, and he was joking.
Oh,
He was joking,
Good.
clearly joking, and everyone jumped him like he wasn't. He's like, guys,
It's clearly a joke.
I'm a former football player. Yes, it is clearly a joke.
Well, weren't there some weirdos that didn't like that LeBron, after he became the scoring champ in the NBA, that he dropped an F-bomb on the mic?
Well, LeBron is funny too, because LeBron literally, after breaking the scoring record, just took a week off. And it was like a sore ankle. And it was like, yeah, it's his ankle. It's really bothering. No, he took a week off.
You deserve it.
No, he came back last night. He took a week off because he broke the scoring record. He went out and had a party that night. And he's like, you know what? I'll be back after the trade deadline.
That party hit me a little bit harder than I thought at 38 years old.
The Lakers, I'm going to be honest, watching them last night.
Inspired. Come on.
I realized that 2 days ago, I told Chris to play the Undertaker music.
I forgot.
I said it was all over Rest in Peace Lakers. I still don't feel like I'm scared of this team.
Yeah.
But I had trouble watching them last night from the standpoint that I'm like, Vanderbilt. You're watching Vanderbilt. That guy is locking up Ingram last night in the first half. And at one point, Mark Jackson on the broadcast is like, yeah, man, I was talking to Antonio Daniels, and they say if there's one guy who's just great at defending Brandon Ingram, it's Jared Vanderbilt. And people just talk about his defense, his ability to defend wings, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
dude,
I'm shrinking because I'm like, that's exactly what the Kings need.
And I didn't feel that same way when I saw Matisse Thybulle hit 5 threes the other night. I was just more like, yeah, like new situation. It's going to happen, whatever. It's fun to see those rumblings of those names and then what they actually accomplish, even when they don't end up on the team that you want them to end up with. But Vanderbilt was a guy that we not only talked about for quite some time, but then when you see the Kings not make any tweaks and they want to put it out there like, yo, we want to keep this team together. We don't want to mess with this chemistry, whatever. But those tweaks are so very important to get better and better in not only this year, but leading into next year. So then you can build that chemistry with that new player, especially if you have this many DMPs on the end of your bench.
He's one of those guys that, especially in today's league where you need these wings who can defend. Like,
so
having
dude, his closeouts. Oh, Brandon Ingram
plays physical.
couldn't make a shot on him last night.
Yeah.
Well, I mean later on, but couldn't make a shot on him at first last night.
He made life more challenging.
He did.
Well, we have a jam-packed show. We are live until 2 p.m. Pacific time, and then a special edition of Cal's and Rami. You got Rami. I think Chris Watkins is going to be on for a little bit. You got Frankie Cartoscelli. Also, we will have a Kings Roundtable on this show at 1 p.m. with Chris and Frankie. They leave tomorrow for Salt Lake City to cover All-Star Weekend. They'll have everything covered for SactownSports.com. We'll have them in the 1 o'clock hour. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. YouTube chat. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hit that thumbs up. We should be at 100 by now. Appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah, dude. Thank you everyone for being here.
Also, I love that we have 2 TVs in here. One's on Sports Center. The other one is
Hey,
what?
look at this comment.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Good stuff.
Anyway, sorry, Maureen, I was talking. I didn't.
Oh, I didn't. I thought a break, like we're
I know, I was
chilling.
just- I
So, like,
was.
I would have been. Oh God, what is this?
Yeah, exactly. So on the other TV, there's some talk show. Oh, Karamo from
Ramo, Queer Eye.
he hosts a show. The topic today is my husband has a porn addiction. That's great. Why would My 58 be on in here?
Why not?
Okay.
And I hope Karamo can help this beautiful couple out.
Okay.
Never know. Never know.
Update on our poll question.
Yeah.
Which are you picking? Right now, the most popular, scoring an 8th grader, and then next is scoring a 5th grader.
I love this poll. Love this poll.
Johnny wants to know, why do women love popping pimples so much?
Is it only women, or is it because? And I only asked that because I was.
I'll stand by.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
It's a great song. Deuce Mason, Morgan, Reagan. We are live on Sactown Sports, wrapping up our first month here.
Is it?
Is it 4 weeks in?
Wait, it hasn't been a year. I'm messing
Been
with you.
close.
Has been 81 long years.
It's our final show until Tuesday. We'll be off Friday, and then there's the holiday on Monday, so we'll be live again on Tuesday from 11 to 2. But we got a lot to get to before we get to that point. We're hanging out with you guys live on the Sactown Sports app. Also, should mention this, Morgan.
Yes.
I want to encourage people to check out SactownSports.com because we have local content. You know, you go to some station sites, it's all like
mediocre.
It's all Associated Press or
Yeah.
whatever, which is fine.
Mediocre.
But we have people here who work on things.
Killing it.
Frankie Cartoscelli just dropped a piece previewing Keegan Murray in the Rising Stars game.
Go
Then
Frankie.
Emil Fergosa just dropped 5 offensive free agents the 49ers and then the Raiders should pursue. So
I just saw him working his ass out there.
SactownSports.com. It not only has like all the shows listed, but it has articles and content. There's going to be a ton of content posted over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Because we have 2 people going to All-Star Weekend.
Yeah. And I still haven't seen them, but I'll tell them today that I really need the behind the scenes TikTok from them of their weekend journey.
I don't know if they're good at TikTok, you know? Like
I don't care.
I
I don't care. It's the new day and age, and they're gonna get good at it. Yeah. Oh, I see you, Chris Watkins. I'm looking at you. Yeah, I see. He's too scared to talk back. That's right. That's right.
All-Star game this weekend. Doesn't sound like Joel Embiid is going to play now.
Strange.
Hey, he says, I'm not healthy. I haven't been healthy for the past 3 weeks or a month. I was just trying to get to the All-Star break without missing games and stuff. But I feel like I've reached a point where I need to follow the doctor's advice. Back then, he said I should have been sitting for 2 weeks. So we'll see how the next few days go and go from there. Let's be real honest about this All-Star conversation.
Let's be honest.
Luka even said he's looking forward to Sunday when he gets to fly to Mexico after the game. I think most of these players are like, do we have to go to Salt Lake City?
Dude.
How did Salt Lake City get? I've never been to Salt Lake City. It looks beautiful. But
It
like,
does.
how did they get the game? It had to have been because their new ownership group.
It has to be because it's interesting when you look at their nightlife and everything that does close. And by the way, I don't go out, so I'm all about that lifestyle. But the NBA players and people surrounding the NBA are not. They are people that want to go out. They are people that want to go drink, that want to indulge and have fun. So yeah, I've watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. There's always a way to find some fun.
I think with All-Star Weekend, they need to change it. It needs to be, and not talking about events, locations. Start playing in football stadiums. Everyone else does it. Make it bigger. Make it more on the line. Like, hey, All-Star Saturday night or All-Star Sunday, the game, play in Vegas. Play in New Orleans. Play at these mega places and fill it up.
Okay.
Allow more fans, because right now, all it is a whole bunch of rich people who have ties with ownership or teams.
Yeah.
There's very few fans who go to the actual game.
Absolutely.
So you might as well open it up. Let's 70,000 people go to a game.
What was the game this year with the San Antonio Spurs? Where was that at?
Alamo Dome.
Spurs
Warriors.
Yes. And you look at that, and I know it wasn't for people that actually wanted to watch the game. You know, they're like, how are we supposed to watch the game all the way from here? Sure, your view of the game isn't going to be great, but I feel like for All-Star Weekend, dudes, that is such a great point. That is the point of the weekend, is just to be there feeling the vibe. You're not supposed to be there breaking it down all the way from the top seat, and you know, it's still going to be super expensive, but at the same time, you could get a lot more people there.
Yeah, make it a huge event. But at the same time, I also get it. They want to reward different cities, and it's cool for new markets. It's also a way to entice owners to make sure their facilities are top notch, because maybe, just maybe, you'll land an All-Star game. You know, the Warriors will eventually get one. The Clippers will get one once they open up their new building too.
What about here?
Not going to happen.
Ever?
There's just not enough hotel space. And that's the thing. Like, well, I remember the Kings doing an All-Star bid a couple of years ago. And it was like, when you get to the point where you're like, hey, listen, here's our bid. We don't have the hotel rooms. Cruise ship in the river. That's when you know, okay.
I remember that.
We don't have enough.
I remember
If we're dropping cruise ship in the, they're like talking about building islands at some point. I'm exaggerating a bit. But my point is there's just not enough hotel space.
An isthmus instead.
A what?
An isthmus instead.
What is that?
An isthmus, like a tiny little piece of land.
Really?
An isthmus?
Can you spell that?
That's not a
thing. ISTHMUS.
That Chris, an isthmus.
Yeah.
Wait. Let's see. Isthmus definition. A narrow strip of land with sea on either side, forming a link between two larger areas of land. So can it be a man-made thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm sure it can be a man-made thing.
Well, you're a genius.
Yeah, I know I lie 95% of the time. That wasn't one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing too, where with like Sacramento All-Star game, it would be awesome for sure. And I think the basketball, it would be so fun for the city. They just want all the hotels like within the downtown region, which I do think from an NBA perspective, just misguided. Like, downtown Sacramento is not that big. Like, if there were people, let's just say like some media had to stay in Roseville.
I was just about to say, right next to the freeway.
I mean, it's 25 minutes. I mean, if you know, in traffic, like 40, but like, it's not that far away.
You know how many times when I was playing on traveling basketball teams in the summer that we would stay away from a court, and then you're driving just 20 minutes to your gym, just 20 minutes there and back. And it was never difficult, because like, even though the coaches had to rent like 3 different vans to drive us all, it was still just like, you do it. And I think this is something that is so very doable. People are working. Like you said, it's not like they're drinking and driving. There's Ubers. It just builds so much for the city.
Sacramento will get one when the city is ready for it. I don't need Sacramento to go, you know what? You know what we need to focus on right now? Let's get 3,000 more hotel rooms.
Let's focus.
I think there are some bigger issues in Sacramento than got to get the All-Star game here. I mean, just drive around downtown Sacramento, Midtown right now.
Unhoused neighbors.
Yeah, you have a lot right now. There's a lot of issues. So, you know, they're not at that point yet.
Right.
But I think the NBA can, like, the California Classic being an event is cool in Sacramento. I think that hopefully it comes back this summer.
Yeah.
It's just meant for like,
it was in San Francisco last year?
Yes.
I don't even remember, because it probably wasn't a big deal there, right? Because it's not really a basketball town and no one really cares. People just go to Warriors games.
Well, if you remember, it was just there were still restrictions on attendance, and it was right before Summer League. It was right before Vegas Summer League, and it was right after the Warriors won a championship.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the week later, the Warriors are hosting a Summer League. California Classic just needs to be in Sacramento every single year. And that's their event. And own that event, because you have multiple teams here. You have hardcore basketball fans here. The Warriors fans aren't that far away either. It's fun. It's a great summertime spot.
Own it, honey. Yeah.
I think one of the fears would be as the Kings get better,
Yeah.
they're not going to have that high draft pick anymore. Are you a little afraid of maybe it can become stale here?
Well, it's
No.
no. I mean no, that's a fair thing. I do think Sacramento is such a basketball town
That's
that
it.
having the ability to go, hey, I can spend $20 and get a great seat to watch rookies even from other teams, right?
Yes.
It's not just about Sacramento. It's like it's same thing
Not
with
gonna
Summer
see any
League.
from LA for a while.
Yeah, that's a good point. Gotta get some other teams. I don't know. Summer League's awesome. I love Summer League.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you on that. Not only with Summer League, but having the California Classic here just for my own personal selfish needs would be absolutely amazing.
Morgan, we got to get into the Sabonis story. So Domas Sabonis spoke with Sam Amick over at The Athletic, a little Q&A with him, and he talked about his future.
Yeah.
He also had some things about his role in the offense and how that's evolved. That was pretty interesting.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about that coming up next. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. Yeah, dude. Thomas, you were at the Summer League game? Dude, we were at the Paulo Keegan game. That was one of the
Oh my
most
God.
insane Summer League games probably in history.
Dude, okay, but
Just an
also
atmosphere.
Deuce and I, because of our friend in the NBA, he was like, just sit with me on the court. Like he had to be at the scores table. So we got to sit with him on the scores table while watching that game. And I was watching Paulo Banchero like, I
Be right back.
didn't realize you were this big of a human being. What we got? What tinkle time? Tinkle time. Can I pee? Only fools hold it in, 'cause I can't help having an accident. Thank you, Chris. Oh.
Rumor has it
Yeah?
that there'll be another song here today
Oh,
that won't have anything to do with peeing.
and will have nothing to do with pee. Instead, it might have to just do with someone that's really special in my life. Also, I was told by the bosses that I should probably have like a mental health check during breaks. So we probably should do 15-second namaste music at times. And we all just take 3 breaths in and release together as we get ready. Oh, all right. Welcome to Namaste with Morgan. Right now, you are going to take 3 big breaths, starting with 1. 2. And your final breath.
Are you serious?
Thank you for Namaste with Morgan.
That could be sponsored by like
Everything I know.
Yeah.
Can we get a
But
yoga studio?
But how
Can we
how do I get my intensity back after that? Because I need to come with energy.
We have Energy Moment with Mo coming to you right now.
Beam fell asleep, he said. And also Martin says somehow this gives him more anxiety.
Oh God.
Then you're doing it wrong.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
like
you don't get more anxiety from breathing. There's no sorry. That's literally, it's physically, it's not possible.
breathe through the nostrils. Breathe through the nostrils, bud. Through the nostrils.
What's Chris doing back there?
I was getting anxiety
Yeah.
by breathing.
That's what he was doing. Nope.
I
Are
just
you
wasn't
worried
sure.
about him?
No, I was.
Okay.
I was a little worried. We're at work.
After our Namaste moment, probably is going to be sponsored by BetterHelp. We are going to what?
Wendy says that was actually awesome. I listened while working. I'm so slammed at work. This centered me. Thank you.
Oh, Wendy, I got you.
Help
we-
me relax, Melissa. Of course, the rational. Women are just
Let's
better
just
than
say
men.
it. Let's
Women are
just say
better
it.
than-
Yes.
Yeah, women are just better than men. Flat
Thank
out.
you. No, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank you. We're equal.
Mike, yes, you could do that too, Paul. There's not. Hey, I'm all about that life.
There you go, Paul.
Oh wow. Hey, shout out to, we have over 200 people here. But wow, that's weird.
That's so weird.
We only have 80 people who have clicked the like button, the thumbs up button.
We only have 80 people liking that button. Let's click that thumbs up now.
That's actually pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got to get to 100. Easy.
Yeah, I'll think of a energy piece too for whenever Deuce comes back into the room, so we just like get him pumped.
Over under, no one's falling asleep.
I know what we need to do, Chris. We're gonna do a namaste 15-second moment, and then we'll do a motivational get back up, get on your feet. You can do it. Use that brain. Use that mind. Follow your heart.
Oh, God.
Feeling good?
How has this turned into like a variety show? There's we talk sports, we talk Kings, we talk about pigeons, we have meditation with Morgan. Stand by and updates coming up. I'm not drawing a wrong.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris VERLOD with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are off until next week, but they will have plenty of representation in Salt Lake City for the All-Star weekend. On Friday, Kings rookie forward Keegan Murray will play in the Rising Stars game. Saturday, Kevin Herter will take place in the three-point contest, and on Sunday, Domas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox will play in the All-Star game. Chris Watkins and Frankie Cartoscelli will be on the ground in Salt Lake City covering absolutely everything on SactownSports.com. Boston Celtics president of basketball operations Brad Stevens announced today that interim head coach Joe Mazzulla has officially been named the team's head coach and was given a contract extension. Mazzulla was named the interim head coach, and when the team suspended the then head coach Ime Udoka for the season, he has guided the team to a 42-17 record, which is currently the lead in the NBA. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sactown Sports.
God, this song gets me pumped up.
Dude, every time. It's just a vibe.
I did life wrong. I should have just been a wrestler. I should have just been like, when I was 20, I should have been like, screw the sports broadcasting thing.
Yeah.
Let me just juice. Let me train and become a wrestler, because I hear that and I close my eyes and I just think 70,000 people just booing or cheering for me.
Booing.
I am never going to get
would
that.
be booing.
It would you are definitely not a baby
Is
face.
it too late for me to be like a heel, like on the mic?
Can I be honest? If you become
Okay, we're going to be real honest. You got to stop saying, can I be honest? This is the third time you said it in 30 minutes of a show. So let's be
got
better.
a stress pimple.
I don't care.
I can say what I
That's the
want.
second time you mentioned that. So we're keeping track today. 3-2.
3-2. 3-2.
Anyway.
So I was going to compliment you, but we can move on.
No, please.
Funny. If you ever became a big enough sports broadcaster, 100% they would give you your moment. No. You would not be a Paul brother. You would not be Bad Bunny, but you would be, what are those people called that come in and they get smashed?
Jobbers?
Jobbers.
No, I
you would
wouldn't
be a jobber.
I would be like a Paul Heyman advocate, right? I'd be on the mic. I need to have the mic.
No, I think Jeff Jarrett's hitting you in the head with a...
Are you kidding me?
And I like that.
that.
Well, sorry, that's where you're at.
I want to be the guy.
Look at you. Look at
Kane
you.
is tombstoning you.
Like being MJF for a day.
But you're not, and you never will be.
I'm sorry. Am I talking to MJF right now? Oh man.
You peasants.
We gotta get this Domas Sabonis story in just a second.
But it isn't too late for you. Diamond Dallas Page started when he was 35.
Bang! Anyway, the Domas Sabonis story we got to get to in just a second.
Okay.
I did want to mention one thing in Chris's update. He was mentioning Joe Mazzulla today.
Dude.
So we were just talking about him yesterday on the show, and we were talking about the Coach of the Year race, and it's like he's still an interim, right? Well, today it was announced he's officially been promoted as the head coach of the Boston Celtics and got a contract extension with the team. I was making the case yesterday. I'm like, I wonder if Brad Stevens wants to actually have a coaching search, talk to many guys. And you're like, dude, no, this guy has done enough. And he gets rewarded right before the All-Star break. he is officially the head coach of the Boston Celtics.
I'm so happy for him. And no, they were not listening to our show and thought, yeah, man, these two people in Sacramento,
Are you
they
sure?
must be right.
I
Yep.
thought I saw Brad Stevens in the chat yesterday.
These two are very much right. But seriously, we like what we were saying about him, or what I was really pushing for yesterday. I think we overthink things sometimes in these positions, right? And you go, does this person have enough experience? Are they old enough? Are they going to grab the attention of all the guys? In the one of the most emotional states of these players, this guy helped rally them all together to lead them to be number one in the Eastern Conference. And on top of all of that, you guys, so all this is going on before he was even getting the extension. He was obviously asked to be the head coach for the All-Star game, right? For the Eastern Conference team, whatever. And when he was, someone from The Athletic asked him about it, like, oh, are you excited about the news? He's like, it's whatever. It's whatever. But then they went into the locker room and asked Marcus Smart, and he was like, he said it's whatever. That's BS. He's just the most humble dude, wants to keep it on the down low. He is stoked. So I think about him in this head coaching job, and it just makes me excited.
It's just a good example if you don't know how life's going to work out. You think this time last year, Joe Mazzulla, 34 years old, was going, yeah, man, I may be coaching the Celtics next year.
No.
Like, there's no chance he thought that.
No.
Nobody thought it. I mean, honestly, Boston wasn't doing that great at this point last year, right? Before their surge. And now he is at 34 years old, a head coach of a team that's got an MVP candidate.
Yep.
They've got depth galore. And to be honest, one of the title favorites in the NBA in the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. And I know you can look at this and go, yeah, but he's given everything with this team. He even has like, is Malcolm Brogdon coming off the bench?
Yeah.
So like you even have a 6th man of the year award candidate right there. So you have so many things going on for you with this squad that was kind of passed along to you, but you still had to manage it and do a good job with it. And that's exactly what he's done in this season. And I think, I know we look back at that Luke Walton situation with the Golden State Warriors and you're like, man, he was handed that and look what he did when he was a head coach. This is different. This is a big enough sample size right now that you're seeing going into this season with all the adversity and making it truly into something where they're going to be possible contenders.
They are.
I'm sorry.
They're contenders.
Possibly coming out wrote Conference is really where my brain was trying to go.
Well, let's get to this piece. Domas Sabonis Unplugged. Sam Amick wrote about Domas Sabonis today. Had a little Q&A. That was pretty interesting stuff. There was a lot to, we had mentioned this at the start of the show. Like Sabonis he's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
Very focused on basketball. But he's not always candid with his thoughts out there. No. Right. And that's fine.
Yeah.
I felt like this was like some of the most candid stuff that we've gotten from Sabonis.
Loved it.
And he was just talking about like making the All-Star team, what that meant. And he was talking about how he feels like it just means more because of everything that came with it. Not a lot of people thought he was going to be an All-Star again when he got traded to Sacramento.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, he only made it twice. He's going to be an All-Star again.
I mean, listen.
The next year.
Yeah.
He also talked about just the fact that there was so much, on him coming over in Sacramento. And for him to get to that, that's a big time honor. He says at the same time, we're the 3rd seed. So obviously the goal is to keep that or go even higher. And by doing that at such a high level, with the West being so stacked, how strong it is, I just think it's great for the city, for the Kings organization. It's Fox, it's me, it's Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray. There's 4 people representing the team at All-Star Weekend, which I don't know if that's happened in a long time, Also, we should acknowledge Neemias Queta representing the Stockton Kings.
Yeah, on Team Scoot.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool stuff. The other thing that he talked about was his future. A lot of people are curious about free agency with Sabonis because next year will be the final year of his deal in Sacramento.
Pretty wild. I mean, let's be real. You feel pretty confident, though.
I feel pretty confident.
Yeah.
He was asked, has your perspective changed on the prospect of this in Sacramento being a long-term fit? Sabonis says, I've had the same mindset coming in. I'm a professional and I'm going to do my job no matter what team I'm on. Obviously, I love it here. Everyone knows that. But like we just saw at the trade deadline with the Phoenix trade, guys you think are going to be there for a long time get traded. So the player can say all he wants, but sometimes it's not you in the person's hands. I'm happy we're the 3rd seed, and hopefully we keep getting better. That's the goal for now. And whatever happens later will be at that moment in the present there.
Dude, he went from OKC to Indiana to Sacramento. And you look at Sacramento and just what it's done with not only its city, but then also the arena. All those things got to come into play. But you look at what he's been able to do in this system, in the chemistry he's been able to build with coaches, with teammates in this organization, in this system. Like, that's got to go far for someone like that.
For sure. I mean, I think the success is the biggest thing. It's like people want a player to be like, yeah, I want to be. I think at the moment he does want to be here.
Yeah.
I think he likes how things are going. I think he really likes De'Aaron Fox. I think he sees the pieces around. He sees Keegan. He likes that. But also, he's a competitor. And as long as this thing continues to go in the right direction, I think he wants to be here, and the Kings can pay him more than anyone, and he'll be satisfied to get that type of money, be here long term. We know he has a house in Napa too.
Yeah.
Right? It must be nice. You think he Air BnBs that? Like this weekend, do you think you'd like?
I'm going to say he has enough money to not have to do.
Could you imagine if he was like a super host on Airbnb?
That would be amazing.
You go there and he greets you with like a bottle of wine. Hey, you're like, Domas?
Is that you?
What are you doing?
With some chocolate covered strawberries. Oh yeah, this is from our vineyard out back. No.
He's like the best host ever.
Yeah. He actually stays in the house. He's like an in-house host too.
I would love to just like hang out with him for a day.
What would you do with him for a day?
Just chill out.
Where?
Napa.
Yeah, Napa.
Okay.
Oh, drink some wine with Sabonis.
I could talk hoops and drink some wine.
Oh,
get
you
him
know
a
what?
little,
Bonus.
get him a little loose and just be like, okay.
What if
What
he
was
was
it
just
really
mean?
like?
What if he was just mean though? He was like a mean drunk.
He was
and
like,
he'd try to fight you.
I hate the way that Kevin Herter comes off my dribble handoff.
I think he's like happy guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh
no.
yeah.
You know,
He's just
that,
like,
100.
Oh, if you like this, try this. Oh, I know exactly what you want. You need to try this.
This cheese pairs perfect with this red.
Hey says if he was a super host, he tucks you in bed at night. I would be like, hey, call or text anytime if you need anything. I'd be like, hey, do you have an extra pillow? He like comes out. He's in his
Puts
PJ.
lavender on it. Oh my God. This is my dream. So
We have to ask him if he Airbnb. He's like, yeah, I do. It's $10,000 a night.
Yeah.
So do you?
a little out of my price range.
Or I would just, hey, you need a house sitter for the weekend? I know you're not gonna be in town.
No, he doesn't need a house sitter if he's renting out the house. Like it stays. Oh, but his other house, does he have a pet that he needs to be sat? These are all great questions.
Needs a pet to be sat.
Like a pet sitter.
Yeah, it's just a weird phrasing, right? Is that
The pet needs to be sat. That's why you need a pet
Sit?
sitter.
all right? So Sabonis sounds like he wants to be here. The whole point is he wants to be. I think he wants
This
to
is
be
the
here
point.
as long as it's going well. Like we mentioned the Napa ties, but it's also like, hey, if you're winning and you can make some money and
Yeah.
you like playing basketball here, cool.
Yeah.
And if not, yeah. But that's why it's on the Kings and Monty McNair. Look, McNair gets an extension. It's on him to continue to evolve the team because you can't just get satisfied with, hey, we're the third seed at the All-Star break. Hey, went to the first round. Like it has to be, all right, what's next? How do we get to the next level? We'll continue to talk about that,
Yes.
including what he had to say about his relationship with Mike Brown. There's so much to get to, and we want to hear from you. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Are you a little concerned at all about someone else's future? Or are you like, no, he's staying here for good?
I'm chill.
We can do that. Coming up next on Sactown Sports. Joe, God, being rich sounds so lit.
Time.
Clint said he also mentioned loving the crowd and the energy. Yeah, I think this Sacramento has been unlike any place he has played in terms of like the crowd, right? Like Indiana.
Please.
Please.
Well, it's a basketball state. Hoosiers. Have you seen the movie Hoosiers?
Yeah, but
Trash movie.
wow.
Trash.
Why?
movie.
Why don't you like Hoosiers?
First off, it's like team. The most important thing is
Mm.
team. Oh, this guy is great at everything. Just give him the ball and let him do
Okay.
whatever he wants.
What do you like more? Hoosiers or Rudy?
Well, Rudy. Just because I don't think Hoosiers is good. But Hoosiers I would put as a worst basketball movie. I think Six Man is better than Hoosiers.
Teen Wolf?
Teen Wolf way better than Hoosiers.
Air Bud.
Air Bud, please.
Yeah. I've not seen Hoosiers in a long time.
Semi-Pro, by far my absolute favorite basketball movie.
It grew on me. I thought it was overhyped at first. You remember that?
You overhyped Step Brothers for me. Ruined it for me.
Wow.
How do you overhype? Do I overhype Michael Jordan?
Yes.
He's
I've
one of the
heard
greatest of all time. Step Brothers is a great movie.
It's hilarious. But the way you said, you didn't tell me it was a great movie. You said, Chris, this is absolutely the greatest comedy in the history of the world. You will not find anything.
And when did
funnier
that
than-
movie come out?
I don't know, 2010?
Okay. I was like 22 years old.
He also was
Yeah,
listening
right.
to LMFAO all the
Okay.
time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, like you can't trust. Yeah. Ugh. Hey, thanks everyone for being here today, dude.
Honestly, not thanking them because they're not hitting the thumbs up and like button enough. And I'm offended.
We do need to
I'm
come
sorry.
up with a thumbs up song that we just play instead of saying it.
Seriously though, help us get the thumbs up. All it does is help the channel grow. So more and more eyeballs get here. We can grow this community just like we've grown others. So appreciate you guys doing that, especially when we have live and local content all day long. And it's just cool because you can interact. Right? It's a place where the chat is popping during the show. I feel like sometimes the chat's just kind of doing their own thing.
Oh, I love
They're
it.
having their own conversations.
I love it. You guys give me life.
Double A says, bro went from Oklahoma City to Indianapolis to Sacramento. Bonus is a small market guy. Yeah.
And
Facts.
where was he born?
Lithuania?
No.
Where?
Portland.
Was he
Was it-
born there?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Positive. 100%.
Hmm.
Without question.
We need a fact check.
That's weird. He was born in Portland. He was.
Son of
He
a.
didn't grow up there.
Like
Until he was like 9
Really?
I'd say
or like 5.
6, maybe like 4 or 5.
Okay.
I'm just dropping ages. 6, 7.
Hey says, you keep yelling at me. I'll unlike. Angry emoji.
Oh.
So bonus signs 4-year 110. I think that'll be ideal. He's getting more than that. I don't know even what the max would be for him, but I feel like he'd be getting the max. Whatever that is, like what would be Sabonis max extension Sacramento?
Chris, someone wants to know what's the best Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh, that's easy.
Two-Face? What's that one?
Face Off.
Face Off?
It's definitely
Two-Face?
Face Off. It's definitely Face Off.
I would say either Con Air.
Okay.
That's
or
a,
The Rock-
a
or The
great
Rock.
movie.
I'm a real big fan of The Rock.
I loved Face Off growing up.
Face Off is amazing.
It is.
It's incredible.
Well, you know what random movie I just loved growing up, but I don't know if anyone even remembers this. Behind Enemy Lines.
I never saw it.
Yeah, with like Owen Wilson in a serious movie. In a war movie. Or
Oh,
something.
wow. There's people shooting people.
That's a great Owen Wilson.
What about The Family Man with Nicolas Cage? A Christmas movie?
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding, I haven't seen it. I was looking up.
Is
Yeah.
that is that a Christmas movie?
What was the other the movie I liked as a kid for some reason that is Jack Frost with Michael Keaton. And now looking at that, the movie's terrible. And Jack Frost is beyond creepy. in
What's
it.
crazy
Like,
is there's
tell me that snowman does not look freaky.
No, I remember.
there's another movie called Jack Frost that's a horror movie
Yeah.
that is
Let
pretty funny.
me look that up. Jack Frost horror. Oh,
It's National Treasure.
You're the man. I'm the snowman.
You know, I've not seen any of the National Treasure movies. That's Nicolas Cage. Stand by.
Live and local.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Watch the show now on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140 or listen for free on the Sactown Sports app.
Morgan, did you not pronounce Josue's name in the chat? Because he said you guys literally just asked me how to pronounce my name and you said you could pronounce it.
I'm sorry, and that's not why I did. I just read your comment with
So
that.
do you
Who
want to
wrote
say
it?
sorry?
I am so sorry, Josue.
That's how we say it, right?
Oh, it better be.
if I remember correctly.
Oh my gosh.
We made it a point. And he was so nice when we got
Dude,
him at a Kings game.
so nice. Thank you for saying hi too, by the way.
Super nice guy. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We're, of course, chatting during the break on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. You can be there and chat away. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Let's get back to the Sabonis thing, because I thought he also had some very interesting things to say about Mike Brown in the piece on The Athletic. And the full piece is fantastic. You guys should check it out. But he was talking about this season a little bit and adjusting to a new coach and all of that stuff. I'm scrolling to find it, as you can tell.
I do. Literally, I feel like you can read any answer and what?
Sam says, let me hit the rewind button real quick. If you go back to the beginning of the season, the front office had upgraded the roster, added shooting. They had their plan. Then coaching-wise, it's, okay, Mike Brown's a new guy, so what is his vision? I had heard that you had some strong opinions about how you wanted to be used, and that early on, there was some discussion about the way Mike saw the game versus the way you saw the game. What was the process like with you two of figuring out the vision and this working relationship? 100% great question, right?
Great question.
And for context on this, Mike Brown, we know this, he's been a control guy. He's been known as someone who's been very rigid. I think he's loosened up a lot.
Oh, people have done pieces on him. Yes,
but
correct.
he is known for being kind of a control guy. I mean, even the clothes he wears, the shoes, everything.
OCD.
Yes. Sabonis, watch him. He likes having control. He likes directing. He likes communicating. He's very vocal about how he feels about the game. So it kind of makes some sense. You have two guys kind of going through like, hey, am I going to be used a certain way? And Sabonis coming off the heels of being coached by guys like Rick Carlisle.
Yeah.
Nate Bjorkgren. Like, these are guys who are pretty like structured guys. That's like my way or the highway stuff. So I think in some regards, Sabonis is like, I don't want this to be my next pathway. I want to be able to be myself. So he was asked about their working relationship. He says, yeah, maybe it even happens today. We argue, not in a bad way, but we just talk things through. I saw myself at the beginning of the year doing other things that I'd been doing, and he saw me as something else. But as the season went on, I feel like we found that middle ground of a mix of both, of how he sees me playing and how I see myself playing, Okay. Great follow-up by Sam. He says, help me understand the specifics there style-wise. What sort of actions are we talking about? Sabonis says, certain situations on offense of what I feel like I'm good at. In the pocket, getting guys open, even bringing the ball up. I wasn't sure I would be able to bring the ball up in the preseason. You know what I mean? But the more I did it and the more it was helpful for the team, then slowly as games went on and the year went on, he would mention it in a positive fashion during film sessions and stuff. I felt like it wasn't all just boom straight away. It was learning for both of us, and we both want and what we both want. He probably saw me doing something else, and I saw myself doing what I've been doing lately. Before they came to an understanding, he says it was pick and roll all the way, seal your defender, dunker. It was things that obviously I can do, but my strengths are different in areas that other bigs don't have, like playmaking in the post, the little areas where, Sabonis thrives.
The fact that Mike Brown not only has evolved over time as a coach, but was willing to even evolve to another level as a head coach when Sabonis came in, by collaborating with him and understanding how they both could see success if they just understood one another. And that's sometimes tough. You want to make sure that you're finding the balance of being like, hey, I'm the manager here, but I also believe in our collaborative effort to leading to success. So you can also be that leader. And we might not agree on every single thing, but when you believe something is wrong or right, push back and make people believe in what you know is right and what can be successful.
Well, I think that's the other thing. And it applies to a lot of things in life, but keeping it to the basketball floor for a second, like Sabonis wants to do the right things out there, right? He wants to get his teammate involved. This isn't a guy that's like, hey, I'm not getting touches. I want to score a ton. So give me the ball or I'm going to be upset. He's like, hey, I can do these things that can help the team. I need to do more than be in pick and rolls and seal a guy and dunk.
Yeah.
I need to be a guy that has the ball. I need to orchestrate things. I need to be doing dribble handoffs. One of the things that Sam also asked him about was like building that trust. He said, I almost wonder if Mike Brown needed to see you up close to trust what you could do. Coming from where Mike comes from with the Warriors offense and Draymond Green doing so much of that playmaking, that he would love to play the way you want to play. He says, that was my thought process too. It's Mike Brown who came with Draymond. Jordy came from Denver with Jokic. I'm like, wow, I'm going to be putting these sets that I've never seen. You know, it's going to help me so much and I'm going to learn. So as the year went on, we definitely learned from each other. And it's like you said, I feel like I had to show him in person. It was easier for him to trust me to do what I do. It's been great now. For most of the season, it's been great. But the beginning was tough for me because I was trying to figure out the offense, how to be myself at the same time, trying to figure out what the coach wants me to do. That's something I've experienced probably with every new coaching staff. You know, at the beginning, it's always like, okay, how do I figure out what they want at the same time, be myself? I know what I can do, and I have confidence in myself. So, like, I think I get, and look, think about this if you're at work right now. You've probably had different types of bosses, right?
Every different type of boss you could ever imagine.
There is something scary about a new boss coming in, right? Like you just don't know what to expect. And especially if you like the old one or if you had a bad experience, you're like, is it going to be like this one?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Sabonis comes from bad coaches. Like Rick Carlisle is a great coach.
Absolutely. Has a different style.
Yeah, different style. And so I'm sure Sabonis goes, man, Mike Brown, he was with Popovich. He was with Carlisle. He's coming from Golden State. Like, am I going to have to push a little bit here? And it's interesting that Sabonis almost had to earn his trust a little bit, right? And I think it's good because they push each other. It is productive to have a situation where there's collaboration and disagreement. I think sometimes we look at pushback as being a negative thing.
Yeah.
When really it's like, no, if the right intentions are there, if both people want the same thing, which
want
is
to win,
and it's for the good and the team, that's great. And obviously Sabonis has got to give something, but Mike Brown has to give something.
Exactly. And I think it's a beautiful thing when someone like Mike Brown who likes control. When I say likes control, I think even that can look negative when really it's just likes to be in control, because when you're not, then it feels like something wrong is going to happen, right? And that's what clicks with people with OCD. It's like letting go and loosening up and understanding when someone wants, just like you're saying, the same thing as you, but wants to do it a little different. Trust it a little bit. Trust it.
Yeah.
Test it out. Let it flow. Let it happen. That's exactly what he's let Sabonis do by pushing up the ball, the bust out, go, and getting the offense going even quicker.
Now you start thinking about the rest of the roster.
Yes.
Does Mike Brown have to trust Davion Mitchell a little more? Does he have to trust other guys more that, although maybe he has not seen them do it with his own eyes in person, that they are capable of doing stuff like that? We can talk more about that. We also have to bounce around the National Basketball Association. What a night last night. Mikal Bridges? Are you kidding?
I know.
A 45-piece for the Nets, career high? Insane stuff happening in the NBA. Where's Westbrook?
Is his name
Russell Westbrook. Where's he going to land? It sounds like maybe the Clippers, huh?
That's where we thought before.
Don't go anywhere. We are live until 2 p.m. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. Hi, chat.
Hello.
275 people. Can we get to 200 thumbs up before we get back from the break at noon? That would be cool. That'd be really cool.
Let's see.
Do you love that Josue called us out and we acknowledged it right away?
Dude, love it. Also,
and
what? No,
I was just going to say, I don't like messing up names too. So I get a little shy sometimes when I'm uncertain with a name. I'm like, I don't want to mess it up because I think it's disrespectful.
I agree. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, we do that when we call G League games too.
Yeah.
It's like when you're just saying someone's name right and you're not doing the work to try and get it. Who was it? It was like Isaiah Cannon, but it's not Cannon. It's Canaan or something, whatever it was back in the day.
That bugged us.
He never corrected anyone and was just like, it's whatever you can say. And it's like,
what were you going to say though?
I was going to say, I saw Adam Silver on, with Sage Steele on ESPN talking about about officiating. And they're talking about like missed calls and stuff. And I didn't know if there was
a clip out there.
Yeah. And I saw, part of the clip, you saw that one when Mike Brown was charging Zach Zarbo or whatever officials were out there.
Well, if you do see a clip, you can always send it to Chris.
Okay, cool. 51 minutes ago, I might
If ESPN put something out about it, if it's interesting.
Adam Silver perspective on how players demanding trade affects the NBA.
Oh my God, Tim McCarver died today. Oh my God, 81 years old, 2-time World Series champion, All-Star catcher, 21 seasons. But of course, he was next to Joe Buck for so many years as a broadcaster. 81, man. Jeff Passan reports that.
Which one is this? Sorry, Chris. I'm going to send you this one. Chris, I'm sending some to your Bonneville email address.
Did you find it or something?
I found one, but it's just on Adam Silver talking about how players demanding trades affects the NBA, and I'm just curious. And again, we don't have to get to it, but it's just fresh. It's still fresh. And I'm still checking for the other ones. Demanding trades. Is that the only one on here? I can find it somewhere else then. They got some good looking graphics there. NBA on ESPN.
Kyle says, "Hey guys, I'm heading the class until 2:45. Hold the good stuff until then." I mean, we're off at 2, so we're not holding it back, huh?
And I'll tell you this: the good stuff.
And
it's the whole show.
Also, it's 2023. Like you can pop like in one earphone, like headphone in, earbud, whatever, in while you're in class. I mean, you could.
Can I tell you though, if you are trying to do something well in class that day and you're not good at multitasking, don't do it. Like I would do that to ignore.
You can still have the tab open though if you want. Yeah.
It's let me see. Adam Silver.
Oh, the other thing that Sabonis was asked about was his hand. How guys are like targeting it.
Oh my God.
Which is not what you say. Oh my God, as if you've never targeted someone when you played. Get out of here.
Who would do such a thing?
He says, yeah, there's been a couple players. I'm not going to say names, but there's been a couple players. Some players even joke about it, but we're close. But sometimes you're like, damn, that looked pretty suspect. Like, how are we going to go for a rebound and you grab that area? You know what I mean? Sometimes it just happens. And I don't say anything. I just play my game, but it's something I wish I didn't have to think or worry about. Who do you think's the biggest culprit?
Probably like someone like Pat Beverly, Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks, 100%.
Silver on refs. Okay, I'm sending you a Twitter link to a video, Chris.
It's got to be Dylan Brooks. B. Perry says Domas is the greatest thing to have happened to the Kings, and then it was Mike Brown, and then it was the Beam. I like that. I like that. Rank the best things that have happened to Sacramento this season.
Love it. Love it. 5 seconds.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris VERLOD with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are off until next week, but we'll have plenty of representation in Salt Lake City for the All-Star weekend. Friday, Kings rookie forward Keegan Murray will be playing in the Rising Stars game. Saturday, Kevin Huerter will be taking part in the three-point contest. And on Sunday, Domas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox will both play in the All-Star game. Chris Watkins and Frankie Cartoscelli will be on the ground in Salt Lake City covering everything on SactownSports.com. Boston Celtics president of basketball operations Brad Stevens announced today that interim head coach Joe Mazzulla has officially been named the team's head coach and was given a contract extension. Mazzulla was named the interim head coach when the team suspended head coach Ime Udoka for the season. He has guided the team to a 42-17 record, which currently leads the NBA. Now time for more Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Oh, yes, we are live and local Sactown Sports. Also on the YouTube page, youtube.com/SactownSports1140, where people are making guesses right now.
Yeah.
About who are the players that have targeted Domas Sabonis' hand. He was asked about today in the Athletics piece. Athletic did an awesome piece, Sam Amick, with Domas Sabonis, where he talked about his future. Yeah, he'd like to be in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Talked about getting adjusted to Mike Brown, how it took some time to be able to do what he wants. But hey, it's been great for him.
Beautiful relationship.
But the other thing Sam asked him about was like, hey, are people targeting your hand? And he said, yeah, definitely. He said, there's been a couple players. I'm not going to say names, but there's been a couple players. Some players even joke about it, but we're close. But sometimes it's like, damn, that looked pretty suspect. Like, how are we going to go for a rebound and you grab that area? You know what I mean? Sometimes it just happens, and I don't say anything. I just play my game. But it's something that I wish I didn't have to think about or worry about, because it does hurt during the game sometimes when it gets hit in certain areas.
Yeah, it's tough. That
So Dylan Brooks has hit him.
Yeah,
Who
that's
else?
definitely
Who
one
are
of them.
the other candidates?
I would have Pat Beverly up there. Who's that guy? Why can't I think of his name? Shooter. He's a shooter.
Kevin Herter.
No,
Buddy Hield.
I literally.
Steph Curry.
No, I don't.
Klay Thompson.
Someone's got it for
Keegan
me.
Murray.
Nope. Bucks.
Bucks. Grayson Allen.
Yes, thank
Grayson
you.
Allen. Oh, no. I didn't see the injury, but dude, he was involved in an injury the other day.
Are
Derrick
you
White.
serious?
But I haven't seen the replay. I don't think he did anything intentionally. It definitely was not reported as intentional.
Okay.
But this might be the most disgusting
there.
sounding injury of the season.
What is it?
Okay.
No.
Well, for me, it just sounds very painful.
Okay.
Derrick White. He collided with Grayson Allen during the Bucks Celtics game. Okay.
Of course he did.
Apparently, he ruptured his eardrum.
How? I don't. How?
But get this. He stayed in Milwaukee overnight
Oh
to be
God.
checked by an ear specialist. Joe Mazzulla said after, he said he has a hole in his eardrum. So he's managing that, but he was cleared by the specialist. And he's here and he's ready to play. He was in Milwaukee overnight. So he ruptured eardrum. Imagine that. You know what some of the symptoms of a ruptured eardrum are? Are you ready?
You looked it up?
Yeah, ear pain. That may subside quickly. There could be mucus-like pus-filled or bloody drainage from the ear, hearing loss, ringing in the ear, spinning sensation like vertigo, nausea, or vomiting from the vertigo. Those are just some of the symptoms. So apparently he goes after the game, goes and sees that ear specialist in Milwaukee. Then he flies to Boston after his appointment in Milwaukee and arrived at TD Garden in time for warm-ups. Mazzulla said, I know he made it in time for shooting time and all the things that come before the game. He's safe. He's healthy. He's been cleared by a specialist and can't do any more damage. Dude, final game before the All-Star break. We always talk about players, hey, take it easy a little bit.
Yeah.
Dude, you just ruptured your eardrum last night. You don't have to play. What a nut job.
Well, okay, it's what got me was that, yeah, there's a hole in the eardrum. What? From running into someone? And of course it's Grayson Allen. And even if there's no ill will, you just think about how reckless Grayson Allen can be. And so your mind automatically goes to screw you, Grayson Allen. But I think about this hole in the eardrum thing, Deuce, and really quick, I'll never forget this. When I was playing, we had to wear this team shoe. And my feet, I have Shrek feet. Okay, they're wide. I need certain shoes.
And for some reason, they're green. It's
And
very
they
weird.
are
They're
green.
literally Shrek feet. You're like,
Yeah.
what? Okay.
Yeah, no, they don't even accept me at nail salons. So I'm wearing this shoe and I'm like, oh man, this is really hurting. And told my coach, hey, I'm probably gonna have to wear a different shoe. And she's like, no, it's the team shoe. You wear that shoe. Kept wearing the shoe until finally a hole. Here's my pinky toe and my other toe, a hole.
Stop it!
Formed in between.
You know what though? You have some weird thing. Morgan at one point had a hole in her back.
Oh, I did have a hole in my back.
And
but
when I say a hole, it wasn't there's a. It was the
a
size.
black hole.
What? The size of what? A sand dollar?
Yeah, a human being could have been sucked in. Yes, correct.
Okay, no, honestly, it was the size of a.
It was huge. I got a little tumor removed, and then the stitching though didn't go well. So then there's this giant hole. So then I had to have friends and family help me by shoving gauze in there, and that's because you had to keep it.
I wish my
moist.
eardrum was punctured so I didn't have to hear this story.
Yeah,
that's just
anyway.
No, but honestly, it's crazy that Derrick White had to deal with that, and you dealt with some weird stuff. And during basketball, that's
so
crazy.
Weird. So weird.
Scott in the chat said my wife's had ringing and vertigo from her eardrum puncture. She takes meds if she gets nauseous. There is no fix. Mary says, bet that airplane ride was not comfortable. Yeah, dude, and he played last night.
I love that all of this led from people.
Sabonis targeting
Yes.
to Grayson Allen, probably one of the candidates targeting to Grayson Allen knocked into Derrick White. Derrick White punctured eardrum, played last night. That's what you call smoothly going from spot to spot. By the way, Celtics did win that game, and Derrick White played 27 minutes.
Oh my God.
He also, I think, got hit in the lip that game. He had a swollen, like, bloody.
Oh God, leave Derrick White alone.
Insane. Appreciate you guys being here. By the way, coming up at 1 p.m., the ever so popular Kings Roundtable with Chris Watkins, Frankie Cartoscelli will be here. Chris mentioned they're going to be on the ground in Salt Lake City.
Wait, why are you saying it like that?
I don't know. When he said that, I'm just very immature, and I was just like, can you imagine they're just like crawling around on the ground in Salt Lake City? Like they're like,
I mean, they might be. We don't know what they're going to be up to.
We'll send you to Salt Lake City, but you got to be on the ground the entire time.
They're just army crawling on the ground on the floor.
Just scraped up. They're just bleeding. Dude, the snow. They're like, what? I don't know why I agree to this.
This is when I know our brains aren't okay because the imaginations just flow. Or maybe it means
you know what? No,
okay.
It's good. It's a good thing.
Okay.
Imagination's a great thing because coming up this hour, we're gonna get a sense of Chris's imagination a little bit. We're debating something new on the show today.
Yes, I've heard about this.
Story time with Chris VERLOD, baby. Or Chris, we have no idea, but he's found a few stories that maybe fly under the radar that only Chris could come up with.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of react to them together.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited for that. But Deuce, I'm so sorry. I must go back on this. I really wanted to talk more about how we were talking about the trust between players and that piece.
Yes, let's go back to this. This is what we talked about before at the end of last hour when Domas Sabonis and Mike Brown had to kind of work together, kind of figure out the best ways to utilize him, highlight his strengths while finding some middle ground. And I was bringing up the point like, okay, can the same be said about other guys on the roster that we saw flashes of good from Davion Mitchell last year and then Rashawn Holmes, who was good enough to earn a contract from the Sacramento Kings where he's making like $11 million a year. Does Mike Brown need to have a little more trust and maybe patience with players?
And I think my automatic thing from just reading about his personality and his techniques as a coach, I'd be like, yes, because one, you have some of these players proving to you that with a longer leash, they can do so much more. They can be efficient. But here's my other counter to this would be some of these players like Davion Mitchell and Rashawn Holmes. Look how Domas Sabonis pushed back and said, no, I got to do a little bit of this. Just trust me. Trust my ability to play this game with this type of flow within your system. He was trusted. And on top of that, it's been successful. With Rashawn Holmes, he's a pick and roll guy. And sometimes I just wish he would look at his guard, whether it was if he was on the floor, and look at one of his guards and be like, pick and roll with me right now, bud. I know you're not running, you're not staying disciplined and running all the way through or running through this motion offense completely how Mike Brown wants it. But trust me, let's dominate this pick and roll against these two defenders right here. Like, he's got to take control of that. Davion Mitchell, same kind of thing. How many times in the last couple games that he has played, you see him just going through the motions, going through the actions and not trying to feed off of them. And he can take someone off the dribble, but not going confidently. And I think Mike Brown is more like, if you are going to be in there, you got to try your own thing. If your own thing doesn't work, that's how you're going to sit. But also, if you don't try your own thing, you're going to sit. So you might as well try your own thing and try to be successful. Right? Yeah.
But you know how it is in basketball. You can't just like try your own thing because when your offense is built a certain way,
but there's freedom to the offense, and that's where I'm going with it.
There's freedom to make quick decisions.
Yes.
You're right. But I also think guys like De'Aaron have the freedom to do more than maybe a Davion who's like, also, hey, I get to play 3 minutes. I need to really be perfect and do it this way when it's a tough balance, man. I think Brown I think he has to think about how to get more out of Davion, how to somehow get something out of Rashawn. And I'm not saying he hasn't thought about it, but the other stuff hasn't been working.
Yeah.
And I'm going back to that Lakers game with Rashawn.
Always
16 and 10, defensive player of the game chain. What did Rashawn do well? But the better question, what did we do well for Rashawn?
Yeah.
How do we get that? And again, you don't have to expect those type of outputs all the time. But when you have a hole at the backup 5 and you're going, I don't know what to do here. We're trying a whole bunch of different things. I want the guy that started NBA games, a guy that has proven that he can hit a floater, a guy that plays with energy and passion. He's not perfect. There's going to be matchups that are bad, but get something. Davion Mitchell, we know he's a dog. We know he gets after it defensively, but he's pretty much turned into offensively a catch and shoot 3 guy.
Yeah.
That's not him.
Going through the motions.
Yeah. And I want Davion to attack. When there was that one game when Fox was out during the road trip where it's like, there you go, be aggressive.
Yeah.
He took it quick in transition, got the and one. Those are the things you want to see out of him. So we talk about him building this trust with Sabonis, who obviously has more of a reputation as a player, a 2-time All-Star.
Yeah.
Rashawn and Davion don't have that reputation. So maybe they're not getting that benefit. But I think when you're a coach, you have to find ways to maximize the talent that's on your roster. And for 2 guys that have been productive, I think you can get more out of these guys.
That's exactly it. And that's why, too, I think if these guys are even being told, like, hey, you got to do what we say, but at the same time, if you sprinkle in a little bit more of your identity and what you're good at, whether it's the pick and roll and a little floater, whether it's Davion attacking and making a quicker decision off of that attack, like, and it works, then you're going to be trusted more and more. And sometimes you look at the Rashawn thing, it doesn't matter that you played your game and you did what you could do.
That's an issue, I think. I think you got to help out. We got to talk more about this, including Davion and trust and all that. We got to bounce around the NBA. We also have Chris with story time. I messed that up. Hit rewind.
Yeah.
We also have story time with Chris VERLOD, baby. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. Chat's bringing up some good points I want to get to.
Okay.
God, it's been fun today.
You guys are great.
This is fun. I'll be right back.
You guys give me life. Oh, he's going to be right back. Because of Tinkle Time? Yeah. All right. We got a Tinkle Time song coming. Same one. No, that's okay. Hey, we can go.
Who let the pee out? Who let the pee out? Who?
Hey, Deuce. Love it. Namaste time with Mo. Welcome, everyone. It's time for Mo's Minute. 1 minute of just pure bliss. Your mind, my mind, connecting as one. To connect, we're going to start with a deep breath. Breathe through your nose and out your mouth. Feel it in the core. Ready? Thank you.
Live and local.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Watch the show now on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140 or listen for free on the Sactown Sports app.
We are live!
Okay, I totally forgot that was a 1 minute break. I literally was washing my hands. I was going, it's a 1 minute break! And I stopped washing.
I don't need you. Ew, you stopped washing? No.
I washed.
Well, I don't know if I believe him.
My hands are completely dry. That's weird.
Sanitizer.
No, I'm good. Appreciate you guys being here. Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. How long were we back for? Like 10 seconds?
Oh, all I got was that we are live. Why would you wait? Do you not? You realize I do a show like every second of my life.
It's not about you. It's about the professionalism of being in here ready to go.
That's a good point.
I know I don't do that.
Did you honestly,
hear me sprint down the hall?
I was a little weirded out that you weren't in here. I was like, you don't do that. I think other people
What do you think your
but...
40 time was there?
Oh, dude, I was fast.
Oh, the amount of times I've run in these hallways and I'm like, people underneath are thinking
it's fun to run in
there's
these
a
hallways.
fire.
No, it's fun. If you're a little kid, it'd be the best place to run. No, because it's just like
it's
the hallways
giant
are tight. Yeah, it's
and
like
it's
you're
a
on
square.
a course. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it all connects up here and it's like, ding, 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 ding.
When I used to do A's games here, I might have just like walked around the all the way around here just to walk.
Yeah.
No.
Get your steps in.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Were you okay?
This was the middle of 2020.
Okay.
Let's get
Not
to the
okay.
live chat. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us on this Thursday. Final show until Monday at 11 for us, which is
Yeah.
great. Get a little reset, be ready to go for a big final 25 games for the Sacramento Kings. Morgan Reagan. We were talking about before the break, just like kind of the trust. How do you get more of Davion and Rashawn? Can you get something out of them in the final 25 games? And someone in the chat was just mentioning, talking about Davion Mitchell. Talking about like Martin was mentioning he's not getting to the free throw line. It's like, yeah, because he is just pretty much turned into a guy that's not trying to hit open threes. And someone else was saying, Mitchell and Monk aren't shooting well. Like Monk's not shooting well, but doesn't get the same type of.
You want to know why?
Thank you. I do.
Because he's a playmaker. He's making quick decisions. And sometimes those decisions are chaotic, but sometimes it's controlled chaos. And when it is, most of the time, that controlled chaos that's adding that energy that's producing on the offensive end, whether it's with his buckets and or with his playmaking, is why he's getting these opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's finding other ways to impact the game and getting those paint touches, like you say, like getting in there and creating something. And it's tough. I'm not even saying that's Davion's complete fault. Like, it would help if he knocked down shots, but he's not adjusted well. And I'm telling you, I think Mike Brown could do more to get him going. Like, you cannot have a situation where you have two guys who have played big time NBA minutes before be pretty much non-factors for you. Like, one played 9 minutes. Rashawn Holmes doesn't play.
Yeah.
He's pretty much out of the rotation at this point. So
it screws with you mentally
Yeah.
and physically, but you think about the mental aspect of things. And I know we could sit here and be like, well, you got to be mentally ready for anything.
Hey, you talk about mental. Talk about Ben Simmons, dude. Ben Simmons.
Thank
felt
you.
so bad for him last night. He
Why?
came off the bench,
Yeah.
got booed.
That's okay. And that was in Brooklyn, right?
That was in Brooklyn.
See, and it's like he gets booed everywhere he goes. And I know we can act like, yeah, but he's dated models and is making millions in dollars. But it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it still doesn't feel good as a human to get treated like that.
One of my favorites, Zach Lowe, was on ESPN, and he was talking about why he feels bad for Ben Simmons.
Nitpicking Ben Simmons, doing the zap rooter every time he catches the ball under the rim and throws it out. It's the low-hanging fruit of NBA analysis. We can do it every game, every night. I've reached a point where I just feel bad for him. And I know he's making $35 million. No one's actually going to feel bad for him. He doesn't have big problems in sort of the global sense. But I feel I've reached a point of just empathy. He's clearly a broken player mentally. He's scared of contact. He's scared of free throws. He's scared of shooting at the basket. And it's just sad to watch because we all know what this guy was as recently as 2 years ago. And there's no point anymore really in beating him up and beating him up and beating him up for all the stuff that we can all see plain as day. I just now have reached a point where, like, I hope we see the old Ben Simmons or 75% of it again, because the guy that's playing now is a broken player.
That's so true.
Great
It is.
breakdown.
And like, it's so easy, especially on social media. Like, I see with Sixers fans all the time. I have a couple of Sixers guys that I follow who always bury him, and I'm just like, dude, they're showing like his passing up and stuff. But like, dude, go look at Ben Simmons, like 2019.
Yeah.
It's a completely different guy. And he is broken right now.
Broken.
And we could talk about coaches getting something out of a player. How do you put him in a position to succeed? I was watching some of the stuff from last night's Nets game because Mikal Bridges had 45 points last night in that game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 17 of 24 shooting. A couple of the assists were from Ben Simmons, and he made some great passes. And you're like, you see the glimpses of Ben Simmons sometimes. You're like, oh, it's there. And then you're like, oh, why did you pass up that shot?
The glimpses, though, is where you see the dominance. Like, even when he got the ball down low, he's posting up, the double was thrown at him. Why a double was even thrown at him, I'm not even sure. Maybe because he was deep enough, and with his size, it's like they want to make sure that he's not going to shoot it. And so when the double was thrown at him, his pass looks a lot like a Luka pass sometimes, where he's just like a tall, big guy, can get it up high and like sling that thing cross court, and he got it to Bridges for 3. And I was just like, yeah, there's something there in his playmaking ability still. He still has that. He still has the vision. He can still play defense. But, man, it's just like Zach Lowe was saying, you just want to see 75% of him come back.
I do think there's a chance in this final stretch of the season that you see more of the old Ben Simmons. This is probably the best opportunity for him because there's no Kyrie, there's no KD, there's none of the crazy expectations. The Nets right now, they're just fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch their games now post-trade.
Oh my God.
They've got guys who could defend. I mean,
even when
they're
Dinwiddie
rangy,
comes
long.
in, like everyone's inspired.
Cam Thomas is now coming off the bench.
Yep.
Cam Johnson's playing for them. And you see what Bridges is doing. Bridges had a big game last night, but this is not just like, oh, he had a big game because they don't care. No, he took over that game. In fact, Bridges has scored 20 plus in 12 of his last 15 games. This is going back to playing with the Suns.
Yeah.
He is a gifted player, and you saw that on display last night. Do you like the nickname Brooklyn Bridges, by the way?
Oh, I do. Yes. We approve in this building.
My whole point, though, is I do think there's something. It kind of reminds you of the Nets team that Kenny Atkinson was coaching, right?
Yes.
That had like Jared Allen, D'Angelo Russell. They were a scrappy bunch, and it was like, oh, they're probably building something here. This Nets team, they've got defenders everywhere. You got Bridges in a role that's nice. Could this be an opportunity for Ben Simmons to build his confidence back up and rehab that? Because so much about life in general is mental. Okay. We talk, and when sports so much, we always go, what's wrong with this guy? He just sucks. It's like, dude, what's going on with him? And there's clearly, Ben has been open about what he has gone through mentally. It's still there. He's had some physical things with the back too. So you just hope everything gets figured out.
And just because he's not updating everyone every single day on his mental health doesn't mean that it's gone away or he's okay. You know, I mean, the other day we were talking about anxiety attacks and I was laughing because I had an anxiety attack on the live show. And I was like, gosh, I don't even have those anymore. Why am I getting that? Probably because I'm a little bit too stressed out. But like, you know, when you're transparent about it, people can feel for you and go, oh, that's why she sucked today. But with Ben Simmons, he's not going to tell you every single day that like, yeah, every day is a battle. I don't even know what I'm doing out there. I don't feel good. Oh, and I'm getting booed. Like, it sucks. It's sports. I can't tell people not to boo him, but at the end of the day, it's just really sad to see.
What was tough was listening to Vaughn the other day when you're playing, like, what position should he play? And he's like, well, you could put him at center, but I don't know.
There's
about
issues,
that. We could play guard. But what really sucks is that was his strength coming in.
Right.
His strength was you could put him in anywhere.
Positionless.
And now it's just like, I don't know where to put him. It's just tough.
If it can go away that fast, I think he can come back.
I hope.
I'm hopeful for it.
Me too.
All right, we'll talk more NBA coming up, plus top of the hour. Kings Roundtable. We have two people who will be going to NBA All-Star Weekend covering it for Sactown Sports. Chris Watkins, Frankie Cartoscelli, live in studio with us at 1 p.m. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. What's up?
I was going to say, Adam, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Adam Silver stuff if you want to ever.
We are 2 away from 200 thumbs up. Let's do it. Let's get to 200, please. Appreciate you guys. BV says Fultz and Simmons are head scratchers. You know, Markel's actually starting to string it together in Orlando. He's really, obviously, it was crazy to see what happened with him for a couple of years. Like, God, this guy was projected to be a really talented player. Like, what's going on? But he's been really good defensively for Orlando. And I'm looking at his averages now. He's at 13 points a game, 50% shooting, 5.5 assists, 4. He's turned into a productive player. And what's crazy about Markel is he's only 24 years old. You know, it feels like it was 20 years ago he was drafted. He's only 24. Question from Curtis. Do you think the Kings being the 3rd seed is overvaluing how good they actually are? They're only 3 to 4 games away from the play-in. Should they have done something? Well, you asked many questions there. I mean, we said this yesterday on the show. You stop looking at them as a number 3 seed. It's not a traditional number 3 seed. Like, they're 6 games above 500, but all these teams are close. You know, I don't think they're frauds, but I don't look at them as like Western Conference contenders like you would look at a traditional number 3 seed. I think to me, you've got Denver, Phoenix, Memphis, potentially the Clippers. Those are the 4 teams to me that are clearly like, these are the teams in the West. And then there's the drop off where you put Sacramento, Dallas, you put trying to think of who else is in there right now. New Orleans win healthy. Like you put all those teams kind of in there. The Kings have just been fortunate. They've been healthy, and they haven't had any crazy long losing skids. The longest skid that they have this year was 4 games to start the season 0-4, and then they had a 3-game one in late November. So we'll see. And it's fine. I don't care that they're now number 3 seed. Like, you got to build this thing out long term.
That silver audio is in that folder for you.
Cool.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Yeah.
I mean, yes, Otto, it's gonna be tough to final 25 games, but it's also it's close, man. The West is brutal. Everything's so tight.
Seeing the Lakers last night, that should have been one of your questions. Like, are you a little bit more worried?
Yeah.
Just worried about them playing better basketball.
They have to go past so many teams to be there. Curtis was agreeing with my take on the 3 seed. He says, looking back, do you think they will regret not making a move at the deadline? Maybe for this year, but again, without knowing what they were offering for like a Plumlee or a Thibault or Jared Vanderbilt, it's tough. You know, I think Monty was like, I'm not trying to give up a ton of things to get this year when let's build this out a little bit. Let's make the right move next offseason. But they're going to have to add. And yeah, I was watching Vanderbilt last night, the Fed BI, and I'm like, dude, this guy would be perfect for the Kings. He's exactly who they need.
As soon as he was out, Brandon Ingram was hitting his shots, like it wasn't that long arm wasn't in his face, wasn't contesting things. But this is also a guy that was like running across court, closing out, hands in the passing lane, getting steals, deflections. Yeah, I was amazed. Looking at some of your comments.
John Wall would be a great fit on the team. Here's my thing, and Martin, you're the classic, like any former All-Star you want to put on the team. You do the same thing with DeMarcus. My thing with John Wall, why did the Clippers let him go? They needed someone at that spot. Like John is just it's a similar. Like I don't think he's got the same stuff to give like he did in the past. He's got to take every other game off. This year, he's played 34 games, 22 minutes a night, but it's just been he's in, he's out, he's in and out. I mean, when you go through the injuries that he went through, that's really, really tough.
I saw our guys, Mark Jones and Kenny Thomas at All-Star Weekend.
Oh, not Kenny Thomas?
I'll tell you why.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Chris VERLOD with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings are off until next week, but will have plenty of representation in Salt Lake City for the All-Star Weekend. On Friday, Kings rookie forward Keegan Murray will play in the Rising Stars game. Saturday, Kevin Huerter will take part in the three-point contest. And on Sunday, Domas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox will play in the All-Star game. Chris Watkins and Frankie Cartoscelli will be on the ground in Salt Lake City covering everything for SactownSports.com and all of our social networks. Boston Celtics president of basketball operations Brad Stevens announced today that interim head coach Joe Mazzulla has officially been named the team's head coach and was given a contract extension. Mazzulla was named the interim head coach when the team suspended then head coach Ime Udoka for the season. He has guided the team to a 42-17 record, which currently leads the NBA. It is 12:30. Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men. Now, more of Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo on your local sports leader.
Sactown Sports.
Appreciate everyone hanging out with us, especially some of the newbies that we have as we try to build this community on Sactown Sports. Appreciate you guys watching us live at youtube.com/SactownSports1140. So also know we got an awesome website, SactownSports.com, where we've got a ton of local content coming to you left and right, including stuff from Salt Lake City. We'll have 2 people in Salt Lake City, Chris Watkins, Frankie Cartoscelli. They'll be live with us in studio before they get on a plane Friday morning to head to All-Star Weekend in Utah.
Make sure to follow Sactown Sports on Instagram and Twitter because then all the links are right there to get all of their content as they cover it all weekend long.
And a quick shout to YouTube feed for getting us over 200 thumbs up today. The buyout market is getting interesting, Morgan Reagan. What are you doing?
There's a spider web up there.
I just,
Gross.
where did this come from?
I was clapping and looking up and I was like, oh, that's gross.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It was
And then I knocked my jacket into the, you know what? Rewind? You got to rewind. Can I get a rewind?
I'm going to actually delete that part just out.
Got it.
Yeah, we won't even have, we don't want to replay any of that.
Delete.
I'm deleting that part out.
Okay.
Great poll, Morgan.
Thank you.
And what she did the complete wrong hand
Oh,
motion.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be.
Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah, and be
delete.
careful. Don't. You gotta be careful.
Make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
that pointer finger is out there.
Yes,
And
please,
make sure
please.
it stays down.
Yes.
Got it.
Morgan, I have a poll question on the YouTube chat today.
Yes.
Before we get to the NBA buyout market and what Adam Silver had to say about refs.
Okay.
The poll question today, as we're at All-Star Weekend, let's have a little fun. Let's use our imaginations a little bit. What are you picking?
I already know.
This game called Which Are You Picking? You will make $1 million if you score on a 5th grader.
Okay.
You can make $10 million by scoring on an 8th grader.
Okay.
You can make $50 million on a if you score. Or sorry. Where's the poll question? Bring it up. You can on an 8th grader 10 million, score on a varsity player 50 million, score on an NBA player $500 million. What are you choosing? So you get $1 million for scoring on a 5th grader, 10 million for an 8th grader, 50 million for a varsity player, and $500 million for an NBA player. What are you choosing?
My choice and what I voted for was score on an 8th grader for $10 million. Bob.
Okay, so I've got some questions.
What?
Great. I can't wait to hear them.
Is it one-on-one?
Yes.
So it's a one-on-one half-court situation, and you only get one chance.
One chance.
The 8th grader. Is this an AAU?
That's what
Doesn't
I'm saying.
matter. Doesn't matter. It's like
You don't know. You don't
You
know.
could give
And to be honest, it does matter.
Yes.
It 100% matters. Have you seen some of these 8th graders
Oh,
nowadays?
yeah.
If it was Zion in 8th grade,
I'm losing 10 mil.
that's
right?
what I'm saying. That's why the answer is so easy. You guys are getting
It's the 5th
cute.
grader.
It's the 5th grader. There is not a 5th grader on the planet. You can search the world. Bring whoever you want right here as 5th grade. I'm scoring a bucket and I am walking away with $1 million. No problem. Come out the briefcase.
No.
I'm
And
walking
then
away.
I'm betting that on the 8th grader against Morgan.
Well, then here, and you should bet that because you want to know how I'm going to beat the 8th grader.
Yes.
There's no rules. Elbow in the face, drop step, boom.
Okay.
10 million, 8th grader.
Well, what you don't know is actually Scott Foster's there.
No!
Offensive foul. You just lost.
No!
And you have to pay for the hospital bill. The
That's not
YouTube feed.
sustainable.
We have these are, let's see the order right now. Right now, the leader, 39% of people saying they would pick the 8th grader. Scoring on the 8th grader, get 10 million. Next up, the 5th grader, 32% say 1 million. Then it's scored an NBA player for 500 million. I think the thought there would be the NBA player is like, you know what, not playing 100%. Maybe you get lucky.
An
Maybe you get
outside
lucky.
shot.
I'm thinking that's DC watching us on YouTube.
Although, I mean,
What if it's Davion Mitchell? You're screwed. Screwed.
but what if it's like Dellavedova? I mean,
Even if it's Dellavedova, it's still going to be hard. I'm thinking like,
can you imagine? You're like, I'm picking an NBA player, and you're like hoping that it's like the worst offender. Even the worst offender in the league is probably not going to allow you to score.
Absolutely.
I kind of want you guys to go one-on-one with Dellavedova now.
I mean,
He'd be tough.
Yeah.
He'd be tough.
I agree.
But if you want to play a shootout with Dellavedova,
Oh,
I like Morgan's chances in that.
same. I love my chances.
The weirdest shot in the league.
in the league. Sometimes we'll go in.
I
Sometimes
think
won't.
the questions are
Because I'm from down under.
yeah. I think the question with that is pretty simple. It's like you bet on an 8th grader who comes in. It's not. It could be a 5-foot 8th grader, and you might be able to
Like
score.
I want an average 8th grader. I want to be guaranteed an average.
These
No,
days-
we're not guaranteeing.
Yeah,
that.
you're
you
not-
don't know what's walking through.
and you don't know what's walking through. But truly, you guys, I'm sorry. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. And if it's for $10 million, I would not purposely hurt the 8th grader. I would just use my physical tools to put them down to the ground.
You jabroni!
Why would you just not take the $1 million?
Because I want 10. I don't want to
I would
work
love
4 jobs.
Morgan, like, clear space, elbow, 8th grader. She goes up, blows the layup.
Oh! I mean, that's what I'm doing against a 5th grader.
Oh, yeah. Are you still going to elbow them too?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
It's for $1 million.
You don't like that.
It's easy. It's a 5th grader for me. I'm taking the $1 million. You have fun. And
Are you okay? Here's my one question though about that. Are you like if it was a 5th grader, are you laughing or because $1 million on the line? Like you're.
I mean, I have
focused.
zero reason to be worried.
I mean, are you playing a little bit with it? Are you like drilling the line?
With it?
Uh-oh.
It.
Yeah, I'm kind of throwing the ball, faking the ball in the face. Just
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah, throwing it off the
Oh
forehead.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Nutmeg him.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No, you're not. If
Oh, yeah.
$1 million are on the line.
No. I would just be like, all right, here, give me the ball. I'm gonna post you up, kid. Get ready. You back my big booty up.
Okay.
Boom. Half hook game. See ya. Give me my
Half
cash.
hook? Why wouldn't you just go off the glass?
You can do it your way. I'll do it my way. Like who?
Mine would be back the kid down, back the kid down, back the kid down, shoot, rebound, shoot, and then finally go in.
Wow. You know what?
I'm not confident in my first shot.
And I like to think that the cash I'm getting for the $1 million is like stacks of cash in a briefcase.
Okay.
Throwing the kid $5 out of the. I'm crumbling it up and going right in his face. Take that. Huh?
There's not even
Go buy
$5
yourself.
bills within this. It's all going to be $100 bills.
Oh no, I asked for 5s.
One.
No, I asked for all 5s. Believe it or not.
fives.
Yeah. They're like, okay, if you want.
Sure, sir. You're weird.
Lights
Yeah,
is
that was the weirdest part of the conversation.
why?
No, I said you're weird, and then that's why Chris is saying, yeah,
Okay.
that was the
Okay.
weirdest.
The other thing that's happening in the NBA world today, the buyout markets. It sounds like Kevin Love is going to be bought out. Maybe, just maybe, he is going to the Miami Heat. Question: do you have any interest in Kevin Love? Like for the Kings, he's out of the rotation, dealt with a thumb injury this year. He's clearly not the same guy. I mean, if you
need a backup,
you need a backup 5, right? And if
Yeah.
he's going to Miami, he would be backing up Bam Adebayo. They've kind of done multiple things in Miami with the backup 5. At one point, Dwayne Dedmon, he's gone now, but they're trying to get Kevin Love. I like him because one, he could pass, he could shoot, smart, good size, rebounder, defensively not great, but like your options right now aren't great, apparently, especially if you're not playing Rashawn or Alex. I just don't think they'd be able to convince someone to get like Kevin Love to come here. I think vets are still like, I know they're playing better, but it's like,
he could live in Miami too.
can I go
right?
to Miami and
Yeah.
maybe win a ring? Sacramento's not winning a ring this year.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But honestly, this is the first time in a long time that I would be like down for Kevin Love, and only because what it is right now, DMPs, no trust. It's like, oh, might as well have a vet on the squad that even though he doesn't excel at certain things, he's still able to be in this motion
Smart
offense,
player.
stretch the floor.
Yeah.
Yep.
But at this point of his career, you have to ask yourself, what is love?
What's love got to do with it?
What does it? Got to do.
It's a real old
Thank you.
reference. Great.
Thanks,
no one
Chris.
got this. The other thing, there was one report that suggested, Miami is interested, but a team from California is. A lot of people speculating that's the Golden State Warriors.
Would that make sense?
Yeah, I think it would. Kevon Looney, and then behind him, I know Draymond plays some 5, but a guy who can. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much left he has left in the tank.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy to think he has been in Cleveland for 9 years now.
That's
He came over when LeBron returned.
wild. Yeah, no, I'm down for it. So
We got more coming up. Deuce and Mo. This is Sactown Sports.
You'll find De'Aaron.
sorry, I meant to give you the little.
I knew what time it was.
I'm glad my guy Soto in the chat got my reference there.
No, everyone got your reference. You just sound like old as
How do I sound old?
crap.
How?
What's love
No,
got to do?
no, that's not what I said.
Oh.
I said, what is love?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt. Oh, okay. way younger now.
So do we do story time with Chris coming up? And then 1 o'clock we've got King's Roundtable.
Yeah, we could even throw Adam Silver stuff with them too, just a little bit.
Yes, exactly. You're
Yeah, just
really
use it
pushing
for
the
them.
silver stuff, yeah, for sure.
We don't have to at all.
No, we can. For sure.
I was very curious.
The
about
way
it.
you're talking about it, it better be good.
I know, and
No, it's
honestly,
on
now
you.
I don't want to go.
It's on you because you're really.
I don't care. I don't care. Wow, 38% still got the 8th grader. People want that. Let's go one-on-one with the 8th grader. What's all the rumors that AD might get traded to the Mavs?
What?
That's just space.
You love spending all that time in grocery stores.
Space.
That's someone on
X.
NBA Reddit who said that. I'm sure. That's not a who's saying Mavs.
SpaceX Dragon Chicken. I was just curious if there was something more to it.
So how would they do that? They're doing a sign and trade with Kyrie or something in the
I mean,
off season.
he looked good last night. Oh, SpaceX Dragon Chicken said, I read it on Dallas Basketball Today.
That's where I get all my news.
Is it?
Yeah.
Minnie says Jason Ross greater than Jason Aldean.
I predict a 6th place finish, says Curtis. What about you guys? Yeah, that top 6. I want them to be in the top 6, and maybe I'm saying they're going to be in the top 6 because I want it. That's it. I don't know. I think they're going to draw. Like, Phoenix is really good. Have we seen a team in recent years with that type of skill level, with multiple guys who can handle, multiple guys that you could put in the pick and roll? I mean, even last game, they had Okogie running pick and rolls. Now you got KD, you got Booker, you got Paul, you got shooting, you got size, you have length. I think they have more depth than people realize. They're good, man. They're really good, and they're coming for Sacramento for sure.
Yeah. So let's say they obviously move up. Let's say the Clippers, if the Clippers were to move up,
Kawhi's playing some great basketball right now.
Dallas has lost 3 now.
Yeah, they have not won a game since Luka got back.
Wow.
Which means you got to ask the question:
What?
Are the Mavericks better without Luka?
That's a great. We'll hit that on Tuesday's show.
Fair.
Okay. We'll hit that. Oh God.
Can we get to 250 thumbs up?
Where are we at?
228.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys being here. Also, we mentioned Kevin Love. Westbrook is talking to the Clippers today. We can talk about some of the buyout guys in the final hour of the show.
Cool.
I'm very excited for the debut. Can we call it a pilot episode? Is it a pilot episode, or has it been picked up for more?
Of what?
Story time with Chris VERLOD.
Oh, it's already been picked up for more. He's signed
season
on.
1.
Season
we
1.
got season 1. So we haven't even heard the pilot. So
I know.
There's no pilot.
Or maybe this is the pilot
This
today.
is the pilot. Oh, that sucked. We're not doing it again.
Yeah.
I thought she said you signed for a season.
Well, he
now.
did, but like contracts are just a piece of paper.
Contracts are just words.
They just protect a few people.
So story time with Chris VERLOD. We have no idea what stories he's going to bring to the table.
No.
Are they sports related? Could be. I don't know. I can't wait.
What's that?
Nuts.
Can I have one? I'm so hungry.
You get one. Nut.
Could I have an almond, sir?
Please, sir.
Do the cashew, sir. Oh, I got
A
literally,
half
and it was a half of a half.
Morgan,
It's so good. It's giving me the energy I need.
I bring my food.
Thank you, sir.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Coming up at 1 o'clock, Kings Roundtable. The Kings sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys to the NBA's All-Star Weekend. You got Fox and Sabonis. You got Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, and don't forget about the Mia Skata.
Oh, there we go. I was like, did I miss something?
But we're also sending 2 guys
Yeah, we
to
are.
NBA All-Star Weekend at Sactown Sports.
2 of the best.
I think that's more than a lot of places media in this market.
No, truly. When I heard about that, I was like, this is when you know this place is getting serious, baby.
Yes, they are committed.
I love it.
For now, I mean, who knows how long. Just kidding. But Chris Watkins, Frankie Cartoscelli will be on the ground in Salt Lake City covering All-Star Weekend. In fact, Frankie's already put stuff up at SactownSports.com. He's got a preview of Keegan Murray and the Rising Stars game. They will both be in studio at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now, very excited about this.
Okay.
It's the pilot episode. We'll find out if this continues. But, Chris VERLOD, who's with us on the show, always has random ass stories. Sometimes we don't get to them.
No.
And I thought, you know what? Maybe it's time. Chris has his own segment where he puts forth the stories that maybe fly under the radar. Maybe we just don't get to them.
Yeah.
It's called Story Time with Chris VERLOD, baby. Wait. Are you going to announce yourself?
Oh, did you hear that noise?
Yeah.
I think it's time for Story Time with Chris VERLOD, baby.
Hey! Woo!
So our first story of the day.
Okay.
Ooh.
You guys are wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cash, but yeah.
Cash. Oh, but Morgan, you say you're a bigger Housewives fan than a
Huge Real Housewives
wrestling fan.
Yes.
Well, this is interesting. What would you think if that were to be brought together?
Stop it.
Now, the Nature Boy Ric Flair himself said on his To Be the Man podcast,
Woo!
there could be a Housewives of Wrestling. And this isn't him just
Stop it.
This isn't him just putting it out, just saying like, hey, maybe what do you think about the? He says it's going forward. He said, you're not going to believe this. I hope this isn't breaking any news. He thinks it's going out there. Fox and Netflix are looking at picking up the Housewives of Wrestling. It's Randy Orton's wife, Kim Orton.
Oh, wow.
Kurt Angle's wife, Giovanna Angle.
Oh my God.
Wendy Barlow. I don't know. Oh, Wendy Barlow is Ric Flair's wife.
Oh.
And Jake Hager's wife, Catalina Hager. The reel came out so good, they're looking at it.
A lot of diversity on that show.
Yeah. Not. We gotta.
Yeah, come on.
We gotta gear toward.
I am excited. It's interesting. I think it's a good mix, right? Because you got Ric Flair, who's old and insane.
Yep.
Kurt Angle, who's old and retired. Randy Orton's still, he's not back yet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But he is a wrestler full time. And Jake is in AEW. I'm about this. This is interesting.
I am about this. I do wish that they had some Bravo producers and creators helping them out with the product, because I think that's very important, because there's corny drama and then there's good drama. And the corny drama is always forced. Reality shows are always forced. But at the same time, you sometimes allow it to have its authentic, genuine moments, and then you build off that. You just have to have the right people behind the scenes. But I'm here for it.
Yeah.
You lie, bro.
I love it, baby.
I don't know if I like the cast.
I honestly,
Because now I think about it, I almost would like the idea of active, because then it's like the drama of them being on the road all the time and they're all
We
hanging
get the
out trying
two
to get
there
through
with
it.
Randy Orton and
But Randy, I mean, those guys aren't on the
Yeah.
road all the time.
Hager is. Hager seems to be out there all the time.
and what was the show that they did with all the? It wasn't just with the Bella twins, but they did a show with all like female wrestlers.
Oh yeah, divas.
Something about divas or
Total
something.
Divas?
Total
Total
Divas, yeah.
Divas.
Those are hits.
Well,
But who could forget Ms. and Mrs.?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I can forget that.
And what about the show
Mm.
that was it WWE who produced it, where they all like former wrestlers live together, like Mean Gene?
Oh yeah. That was on. I believe that was on
Hacksaw.
the network.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like those all aren't just like sticking.
Okay.
You got to have the right couples, the right Real Housewives mentality if you want to make this successful. But Chris, I'm here. I'm down for it.
What's next on Storytime with Chris VERLOD?
So everyone's got a car. Know that catalytic converter theft.
I've heard about that.
It's
a
Yeah, I think my
huge
dad's
thing.
been very big into that over
Yeah.
the years.
So
yeah.
it's a big
Gosh.
deal. Nobody is immune to this.
Okay.
Any car, anywhere. Last Friday in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile became the latest victim. That's right. Last Friday, when the crew went out for the Frankfurter four-wheeler, they discovered the burglary. They were not able to get on the road. Luckily, they were able to get it towed to a rental van spot where they were able to get a temporary catalytic converter to continue on their way.
I mean, out of all the ones you would steal, I'm probably not going for that one, right? Like,
Why?
it's
Probably the
so
most
obvious.
expensive.
Everyone sees that. They're all taking pictures in front
Yeah.
of it. They all want to like jump on it. I want to go look inside. You're going under there and getting that?
Not at midnight. Nobody's looking at that.
So that catalytic converter story was just the amuse-bouche
Ooh, what else did they get?
to my next catalytic converter
What?
story. This happened in Palmdale, California.
Palmdale.
Okay,
Come
so there was
back to me. I love you and I need you, baby. Palmdale. You know that?
I have
Afro
no
Man.
idea what this
I have
song
no
is.
idea.
Afro Man? Oh my God. Okay.
he had another song.
Dude, you know what? Afro Man had some hits.
Proceed. With
Okay, so
Palmdale.
there was an attempted catalytic converter theft in Palmdale, California.
Okay.
Keyword attempted. So there was a small car. It pulled up to an SUV in a parking lot. People thought there was nobody in it. Perfect time to steal a catalytic converter. 4 people got out, started sawing the converter out of the SUV. Unfortunately for the thieves, there was somebody sleeping in that SUV. A woman pulled over to just take a nap.
Oh,
She was
man.
sleeping in the SUV and was awoken by the noise of the sawing. The driver immediately started the car and reversed out of the parking lot, but stopped after she felt, quote, a bump as if she ran something over. Unfortunately, she did run over someone. It was one of those attempted thieves that was trying to get her catalytic converter. She stopped, called 911. When the police arrived, they found a man lying on the ground in front of the SUV. The suspect was taken into the hospital where he was pronounced dead.
Oh my God, Chris!
Oh, okay, a couple of things.
Wait, he still has more. Go.
The other 3 people that were involved in the catalytic converter theft were detained. No names were released.
Okay,
Yeah.
just imagine like, oh, I'm really tired. I just need to pull over for a nap. You hear a saw. Was that electric or is it?
No.
They don't describe the saw in the story.
I don't know why I like to think if it was like not an electric one. They're just like, oh, they're like, God,
probably
it's
what it
taking
was.
forever. Or if you heard the worst case, what's that sound? That would be, and you just feel the vibrate. You kill somebody,
Dude.
You wake up from a nap. There's a saw into your car, and you run someone over
And
dead.
And like, I know so many people, they think in their head, they're like, yeah, but he deserves to die. He was going to steal your thing from your car, whatever that's called.
Oh no,
but
it
it's
definitely
like,
doesn't deserve.
no one, they don't deserve to die. And that's what makes it
it's-
so dark and so
okay.
sad.
Yeah, it is sad. I was going with more of the like that was crazy angle, and you're like, yeah, but the bigger issue is people needing to steal for money, and you're right. It's a societal
I was
issue.
not, yeah,
I wasn't trying to
capitalism.
go there.
Yes. Yeah, no,
My
I wasn't either. I'm
goodness.
sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, last one. Feel
Okay.
good? I think this is sort of a feel good.
Okay,
Oh, I
Phil,
hope.
please, dear God.
New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin is cleaning up the Jersey Shore Boardwalk
Okay.
from fixed carnival games. Christine Struthers was fined $15,000 and banned for 10 years from holding an amusement games license, which I didn't even know existed, for rigging basketball and quarterback games.
Yes.
State officials said that Struthers overinflated balls for games by almost 3 times the recommended amount and large prizes that were displayed but were not actually available for winners. Platkin said every person deserves a fair shot to winning a prize.
You know, I guess, but everyone knows what they're walking into.
Yeah, I thought
You
we
know,
all
like,
like it was
it's like-
also like an assumption that
It's like it's almost like, can we beat the rigged system?
yes,
It's like life. You're trying to beat this
True.
rigged, right?
Yeah. No,
it's like
it is
3-card
true.
money. I'm not like whoa. Are you rigging 3-card money?
And it's like, if we're going to do that to that person, you got to do that to all the other people that screw over people in games too, right?
I think this is a warning shot. Just like, hey,
we
clean up
we
your
are
act.
cracking down on these people.
I love story time with Chris VERLOD. I
Yeah.
also feel tremendously bad because I just realized I meant to get Jaime like a long time ago, and he's been on hold for like an hour.
Oh, can you get to him really quick?
Sorry, Chris. Jaime, dude, I'm so sorry, man. Are you there? This is okay.
okay, thanks.
Are
Maybe
you
you hung
there?
up like a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
That
Call
was-
back, maybe. I just felt bad. I looked over. I'm like, oh my God, he's been there forever. Anyway, Chris VERLOD, story time with Chris VERLOD. Jaime, sorry.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. I think we might get another episode. We just ordered another episode.
Yeah, I would like some explosions and some like other things in between to
Yeah.
go to story though. Is that cool?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Well, coming up next, Speaking of explosions, Chris Watkins, Frankie Cartoscelli in the building. We got a big all-star weekend coming up. They will be there, but first they join us live in studio. It's the Kings Roundtable. It's coming up next on Sactown Sports. Oh my God.
Good job.
The Saw one, just that.
I cannot believe, like, I did not know the story was going to end. And he was pronounced dead after getting run over.
Hi says, he died doing what he loved, though.
Oh.
Stand by.
Hey, guys.
Frankie got a haircut, maybe.
Oh, if it isn't Frankie in the haircut, huh?
I'm going to peel off.
Yeah, me too. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? Yeah, looking out on the tinkle time I used to have to pee. Good, get it, girl. 'Cause you make me pee. You can turn that light down. 'Cause you make me pee. You got it, Chris. 'Cause you make me pee like a natural. Hey, Deuce. Ugh, she is so good at that song, isn't she? She's a masterpiece. Dude, I'm so glad you guys are here today.
Happy to be here. Started listening to the masterful performance that is you singing.
Thank you. Oh wait, could we get a Mo's Minute, please?
Wow, throwback.
Oh no, it's changed over the years. You'll see.
Oh, sorry, dude. No, you're good. Dude, this is like.
And as we get ready for the final hour of the show, I would like everyone to take a moment to take a deep breath. We're going to breathe in through our nose and out our mouths. Ready? 1, 2. Namaste, everyone. That has been your Mo's Minute. Thank you for doing everything, Chris. It's a good way, you know, just to get you guys ready and going and really have the right mindset. Hey, that is my, well, that's what I said. I said the boss has said I need a break.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well then I even told them, I was like, I'm going to do a minute of breathing. And honestly,
it felt productive.
Thank you. And not only that, it's actually helped other people in our chat during the show too. They said like at work, they got centered.
It makes
after
sense.
They did it.
Hey, Mo, I think,
yeah. What do you think?
We should probably get Chris and Frankie to switch spots.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay. How come? Oh yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Go.
Gotcha. Okay.
We still haven't dialed this in.
What?
It's been.
No, we're just switching these two.
What are you guys gonna do to me? What's happening?
You're not Frankie.
Nothing
I'm
is happening to you.
Yeah, we're putting you on the one shot.
What's
though.
happening?
Frankie, get on my one shot.
What are you gonna do?
Shut up, Frankie.
What's happening?
I said.
They're bringing in a
What if
live
I just?
horse.
I'm afraid you just started tearing. You put the spotlight on me.
Can we get to 250 thumbs up before we get back? Chris has an update coming up in a minute. It's Deuce and Mo. What is up? Kings Roundtable coming up next. Oh, Chris Watkins made a background for this?
Light, literally something light.
I'm afraid.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh.
Let's see it.
Wait, hold on.
A little bit.
Don't
busy
worry,
day,
I'll get
so.
the other camera going in a second. God, I wish this was.
So that one, now it's blurry.
I know, Deuce. I see it. I'm going off of. Oh, now I got Deuce in my shot.
We're just.
Hold on. There we go. We're going. There we go. Okay.
Now, whoa. Now it's
for some real time.
I'm like still sketched out that I got moved over here. I'm wondering if I'm gonna get like.
Nobody puts Frankie in a corner.
Yeah, like good fellow gonna get whacked or something. Like the door behind me's got me afraid now. Got the Nicolas Cage
I
pillow.
need to
over
get
there
out
behind me.
Frankie's shot, huh?
Yeah, if you can. There we go.
I want some roundtable right now. That's what someone in the chat says. Yeah, when is roundtable gonna sponsor?
Right,
Like,
easy sponsor.
yeah, easy.
Come on, salespeople, get
Easy.
to work.
Is it easy to get this preset, Chris? Now, like, could you like, oh, save on this setting and boom?
I wish.
That's something we'll have to talk to our engineers about.
Mo's Minute is going to get sponsored by BetterHelp.
That'd be great. It's not Calm app, not
Anything they can sell. They sell some like bootleg.
Yeah.
Calm.
Hey, for those who are watching us live
Get
right
help.
now, if you want to help us out, share that you're watching this live on social media. Maybe put a screen grab in there too. You know, that'd be cool. Little screenshot of it.
Oh, I like that. Good idea, Deuce. Oh yeah, let me tweet out that we are on. My cute little graphic that Chris
Oh, I still need to
altered.
update.
It's
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
It's also not. Jeez.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris VERLOD with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are off until next week, but will have plenty of representation in Salt Lake City for the All-Star Weekend. On Friday, Kings rookie forward Keegan Murray will play in the Rising Stars game. Saturday, Kevin Herter will take part in the three-point contest, and on Sunday, Domas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox will play in the All-Star game. Sactown Sports will also have representation there as Chris Watkins and our Kings Cowboy, Frankie Cartoscelli, will be on the ground covering everything for SactownSports.com and all of our social networks. Boston Celtics president of basketball operations, Brad Stevens, announced today that interim head coach Joe Mazzulla has officially been named the team's head coach and was given a contract extension. Mazzulla was named the interim head coach when the team suspended then head coach Ime Udoka for the season. He has guided the team to a 42-17 record, which currently leads the NBA. And now it's time for a Kings roundtable with Deuce and Mo, Chris Watkins, and that cowboy, Frankie C.
Yeah!
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sactown Sports.
Yeah, we are live until 2 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports and special edition of Kettles and Rami. I think Chris and Frankie will be a part of that with Rami as well. And then they get ready to board a plane to head to Salt Lake City, Utah. It's NBA All-Star Weekend. Kings with so much representation. 5 people will be there, including Domas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray, Siri, Neemias Queta, and Kevin Herter. I already mentioned that. Keegan Murray. Yeah, a lot. And Frankie Cartoscelli and Chris Watkins will be there covering it all. In fact, Frankie's already dropped something new today on SactownSports.com previewing Keegan Murray in the Rising Stars game. So go to SactownSports.com. Be locked in all weekend. Local coverage of the Kings being at All-Star Weekend. It's going to be awesome. Also stuff on our YouTube channel as well. How you guys doing today?
Great. I mean, like you said, doubling up. We're going to be sitting here for a little bit. Is Chris staying on for 2 hours with Rami? I'll be on for one more. But
yeah,
what better way to get started with some Kings Roundtable?
Dude.
We were talking about Roundtable needs to get in touch with.
Hey,
if you're out there,
that's
anyone.
genius.
Yeah,
God, we're so smart.
This whole like cowboy, what are Kings cowboy? Is that what you say?
Yeah.
I just think it needs further explanation because it's said all the time. I still don't totally get it. You're like, yeah, it's just what Chris says, but what's it mean? It's why are you a Kings cowboy?
It still confuses me too for the most part, but if you have to make sense of it, really, Cartoscelli family's pretty big, and I have someone out there named Brian. Hey, Brian, I don't know him personally, but apparently he wanted to win some Kid Rock tickets. I think it was like almost a year ago or longer than a year ago.
Yeah,
Chris,
pretty long time ago.
it was a couple years ago, maybe almost. And he texted me and said, "Hey, who's Brian?" I said, "I don't know a Brian." And he said, "Well, he's trying to win Kid Rock tickets."
Yikes.
I said, I don't.
He said he was your cousin.
Oh, he probably is. And he does interact with me. And
Did you cut him off after that point? Like when you said Kid Rock, you're like,
I mean, if it was someone I knew closer, I don't know him that well. All I know is I do not like Kid Rock, but apparently the biggest mistake was to tell CV that I don't like Kid Rock.
The worst thing he could have said is, I don't like Kid Rock.
Now people out there probably imagine me as some guy on a farm near Yuba City, just like watching basketball, with overalls on.
Oh, wait, so how is that different from what you actually do? Oh, you moved to Sacramento.
I live here. I live in Domas.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't have a farm.
well, you are storming a Capitol this week in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's the site for the NBA All-Star game.
Oh my gosh.
You're going to Salt Lake City, Utah, the capital of Utah, this weekend. And it's going to be big time stuff. Appreciate Frankie and Chris being here. Of course, all of our guests who come in studio on the phone, they join you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. For some like Honda.
What a transition.
Yeah, I'm sure they love
Your
that.
one-stop Honda shop.
One-stop Honda shop.
What do you guys think about the piece today in the Athletic? Sam Amick talked with Domas Sabonis. There's a lot of interesting things in that piece. Sabonis is not exactly a guy that, is open all the time, right? He's very down the middle, kind of straight to the point. His media sessions with reporters last like 3.5 minutes. But with Sam, he kind of opened up and, mentioned he'd like to stay in Sacramento. He likes it here. And I thought the stuff about Mike Brown and kind of the trust that he has had to gain from Mike Brown with the offense was pretty interesting. What jumped out to you?
Yeah, definitely the Mike Brown stuff. I had not heard. Sam, I think, in his question said that he had heard that before. I had never heard that before, that they had, and they made it clear that it wasn't necessarily butting heads, but just kind of had difference of opinion on how Domas should be utilized. And, it sounded like there was some real back and forth in terms of Mike just kind of needed to get the trust. And it seemed like he needed to see it with his own eyes that, it's okay if Domas brings the ball down the court or if he is the centerpiece of our offense in terms of moving the ball. But the thing that I thought was the most interesting from the article was him really opening up about how the pain in his hand and just how, sometimes it doesn't hurt when he dribbles, doesn't hurt when he passes. He says it hurts a little when he shoots, but he tries not to think about it. But just his hand is still a very real thing. Like, it's a real injury that he is really feeling the pain of. It's not just something that, they're going in and numbing before every game or, he has some great brace on his hand or anything. It's just a really taped up hand and a lot of pain management. And he mentioned a couple times of, maybe some guys kind of targeting it.
Yeah. Who do you think?
Right,
is it Dylan Brooks?
It kind of it feels like something Steven Adams might do.
Ooh,
Wow.
really?
Yeah, just a little cheeky something.
You know what though? Makes sense, right? Those Grizzlies players, the Grizzly. It's the Memphis Grizzlies guys.
I was going to say more because he has like 20 siblings and
it's just always
fight and
poking
find
and
your
prodding,
way.
right?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
But like Morgan's talked about that when she played too.
Yeah.
Not so much about like going after injuries, but she's talked about pinching back fat.
when they would post
So
up on
just
me and you just twist it.
But people do that, and
Yeah.
you just maybe a little extra swipe. They know what's happening with your. I don't think it's necessarily. Is it dirty? Is it dirty to go after someone like that?
Going after an injury? I mean, I think that it's something that happens in sports, but
you put it like that.
I mean, well, I think it happens in a lot of sports, not
definitely.
just in this instance. But it doesn't mean I don't think just because it's part of the game means it's right.
You know what I'll say? I think it really does depend on the person because of reputation, right? Like if it's someone like Steven Adams, I'm not necessarily going dirty player. I'm just going, trying to gain an advantage. Where if it's like
Draymond or something,
or Grayson
Dylan
Allen and Dylan Brooks, like those guys, they pre-calculated,
Preemptive?
premeditated. There we go. Yeah, there we go, Frankie.
Words.
Yes, words. They've been tough sometimes for us today.
Oh yeah.
Anything jump out to you in that piece?
I mean, obviously the hand thing was like the most, because I think it has become a footnote that Domas Sabonis is playing. No pun intended.
Nice.
He's playing with a broken thumb or broken ligaments that whatever the medical term is, but you almost forget about it when you're watching him play because there hasn't really been many instances of him even holding it or having to go to the bench and haven't had the trainers look at it. It's just kind of been like it is what it is. He's playing, feels fine, and I'm reminded of it sometimes when I see him on the break dribbling the ball with his right hand or throwing a pass. It kind of almost slips my mind. Then you realize he's actually going through with it. But that, and then also the part of him saying how he wants to be here, I don't think that was really a surprise. I think that he has enjoyed his time here. The Kings have been playing good basketball. And I think it's just kind of encouraging to hear him say that or read it, I guess, in this case.
Yeah.
But like he has a good point. Nothing's a sure thing. You never know what can happen. And I think that if it was up to him, number one, if he stays here, it's the most money he's going to get. The most money he can get is by signing with the Kings. I think it'd be a 5-year, $214 or $220 million deal. So,
and how do you not like winning, right? And how do you not like building the relationship and the chemistry that we are hearing even through this piece? A guy that holds back to open up and be transparent a lot is opening up in such a delightful way in this piece, right? Where he's being fully honest, but sometimes that honesty, I think people in the sports world are always scared that it's going to be like, oh, is that a little negative that they had different views and a different vision? No, that's how you win in anything in life, in relationships, in businesses, everywhere. If you find that collaborative effort, there's only great things that will come from that.
I also think like it just shows you that Mike Brown has evolved a little bit.
Yes.
You know, everyone talks about how rigid he's been, the fact that he's been open-minded, like, hey, listen to your guys. But we were talking about this last hour. I'm curious to get your thoughts on it because obviously he showed some trust in Sabonis. Like, oh, you want to do some of this? Okay, let's try to work some of this in, but I still need you to do pick and roll. How does some of that same trust get applied to maybe a Rashawn Holmes, Davion Mitchell, who obviously don't have the all-star credentials of Domas Sabonis, but guys have shown that they can be productive players. It just hasn't worked here. And it seems like a couple of guys that have struggled to acclimate to Brown's system. I mean, Sabonis literally said it took him a second.
Right. Yeah, I think that's super interesting when you bring up the Rashawn piece and the Davion piece of it, because I heard you guys talking the other day about how, you know, when Rashawn started the other day against the Lakers, puts up the 16-10, the Kings win the game. Next game, you assume, okay, this is the part where Rashawn starts to kind of get reintegrated into the lineup. He started to play well. Maybe this is the turn of something. Trade deadline goes by now. Okay, we didn't make the move for the backup center. Is he going to kind of, you know, just by virtue of him still being here, is he now going to be reintegrated into the lineup? I personally don't think Mike Brown, I think that's the next evolution for Mike Brown in terms of trusting more of the guy. He clearly is trusting Sabonis and trusting Fox, especially in the fourth quarter with Fox. I think that's kind of where he's let that leash go, but you don't really see him loosening that leash with a lot of other guys. We've heard him keep Keegan on a really tight leash. You know, it seems like the Davions and the Rashawn Holmes, it kind of doesn't matter how they perform on an individual basis. It might have more to do. We don't see them every day at practice. I assume they're still giving real effort at practice, but you know, maybe that's where it's just not clicking the same.
Yeah, I just think it's tough too when you do play well, and then you especially when you're playing like Rashawn is
right.
like Rashawn, where you have been out of the rotation, then you get the start, you play well. I mean, you're awesome in that game, and then it doesn't really lead to anything. You start searching on what am I supposed to do? Was that not good enough? I mean, it's a mental thing with sports too. We got so much more to get to. Deuce and Mo, the Kings Roundtable on Sactown Sports. Oh, sorry, Morgan. We have a clock, okay?
Gonna be okay. I like to flow, man.
I understand.
Let me flow. Let me flow now.
Thank you to the YouTube chat getting us over 250 thumbs up. Thank you so much. Make sure to hit the subscribe button too. Light says DeLon Wright was really solid for us. Yeah, that was probably when you look back, one of Monty's trades.
Right.
You go, man.
That was for Tristan, right?
Tristan.
We got TT.
Okay, TT. Yeah.
That felt like a panic move too. Like, oh my God, we're going to lose Rashawn Holmes. Should we trade? I'll trade DeLon Wright.
Tristan Thompson. Plug the hole.
And now Tristan Thompson's on ESPN.
Ugh.
What's up with that?
It's so
strange.
What is the
strange?
What's up with that?
I love that you said that. Yes.
Let's be honest about it.
You know your name's going to be
What's up with
changed to the
that?
Hurricane pretty soon if you keep that up.
What?
You doing your Hurricane impression.
Oh, what is that? Wait, is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm confused.
I am too.
Very.
You didn't hear him? What's up with that?
What's the
Is that a person?
hurricane?
You don't remember the Hurricane?
No.
Again, I took a time. I mean, I remember the Hurricane, but I
Yeah.
wasn't locked into WWE. I didn't
Chris,
know that was
you're
his
that was
aging
Chris.
yourself now.
The Hurricane
No.
wrestled The Rock.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
watching.
Well, I don't
He was
know.
watching.
I don't know who that is.
Can we get back to
You
the
don't know who
very
The Rock
important?
is?
No, I know who The Rock is. I don't know who Hurricane is. Sorry.
The important thing is Tristan Thompson is on ESPN, and we are not breaking this down as to why he's on.
It's really easy. It's LA Kardashians.
Yes.
Big name.
Kris Jenner
Good
was-
smile.
Live and local.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Watch the show now on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140 or listen for free on the Sactown Sports app.
Appreciate everyone hanging out with us. The Kings Roundtable rolls on. Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, Frankie Cartoscelli, and Chris Watkins. You know, Morgan, do you realize the Highway Desperado Tour is weaving its way through the Toyota Amphitheater in September?
And they're actually doing it in horse carriages, like putting all the equipment on horses and in carriages.
now you're just being silly.
Yeah, that's being ridiculous. But, you know, September 21st,
Oh.
Jason Aldean.
Yeehaw.
Yeah. Here, Northern California,
Wow.
Toyota Amphitheater. We partner with Live Nation.
Yep.
And we're like, you know what? we'll give out a pair of tickets.
We'll do it.
We'll do it.
Why not?
So we'll pick caller 6. If you're at caller 6 at 339-1140, you will win a pair of tickets to see Jason Aldean on his Highway Desperado tour at Toyota Amphitheater September 21st. For more information on contests and to read Frankie's work over at SactownSports.com, go there right now, SactownSports.com. All right, we've been talking some Kings here. We are at the All-Star break. These two are getting ready to go to All-Star weekend in Salt Lake City. We did get a change for the three-point contest today, by the way.
We got a
Oh,
change.
right. I saw that.
Simons is out.
So
Yes. Yes.
Julius Randle in.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense, you guys.
What is he
'cause
shooting?
I think is he
Not
back
good.
to 35?
34, 35. I
Yeah.
mean, did KCP piss somebody off like at All-Star that doesn't want him to? After yesterday, the outcry, the Twitter,
Yeah.
I just don't know how.
Maybe they just made it easy because Julius was already going to be there. So they're like,
Right.
hey, you want to just.
I mean, and
What is
sometimes
it?
when it's this late in the, when it is this late, the Simons injury just happened, right? Like
Yeah.
it just happened.
Yeah.
They're going replacement. All right, who's there? Some of these guys, like the games end, they're out. They have vacation. They literally, especially on the road, like the Kings were in Phoenix, final game before the road trip. I talked to Gary Gerald about this. A lot of times the plane is like empty on the way home because guys just go fly. All right, I'm going to Cancun. I'm going here.
Wow.
It's not after that when that final game before the All-Star break, it's done. It's like winter break at school. You're out, you're done. So guys are all over the place. So you're not going to be like, oh, well, let's go to the 3-point chart. All right, come on over, KCP or Damian Lee. It's like, well, those guys might already have plans.
Here's my question. Would you guys rather be a multiple time All-Star or just one time All-Star, get in and get out so then you can have that break in that vacation, or have it multiple time All-Star on your resume forever? And really think hard about
I
this.
just did multiple time All-Star.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you
End
like
of story.
are you like a star player, or are you kind of like a
Yeah, I think
fringe?
that's what.
Yeah, like are you like
Like De'Aaron Fox.
Also,
I mean, I don't know. I don't
Shots
know. If De'Aaron's
fired.
I just don't know if De'Aaron's going to make 10 All-Stars.
True.
Yeah,
I mean, now I think he will.
I'd probably go with multiple just because that probably means you're an important player, bigger contract.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
nice to
Bigger
have the
fame.
vacation, though. That's
See,
what I'm thinking.
that's honestly like I'm at this point in my life where like seeing what they do and I'm like just doing my thing, whatever. That week is so needed that I'd be like, I don't.
So guess what? When you're at that level,
Yeah.
it's part of your job is to grow the game. It's a celebration of the game. It's NBA All-Star weekend. You're LeBron James. You don't look at that as an off week. That's part of your life. Like you are one of the
Yeah.
greatest ever. You have to be there. It's weird. Like Steph Curry, I heard is not going
Okay.
because he's injured.
Yeah.
He's not even going.
I
But
mean,
that's kind
yeah.
of crazy. But look, it's part of what you do. And like also, let's not act like it's that hard. It's
It's
not like
not,
LeBron's
no.
playing 40 minutes coming up on Sunday. The guy's shooting around, hanging out with guys. It's also a good chance. It's a recruiting time a lot of times, you know?
Definitely.
Stay away from our Kings.
Yeah, stay away from our Kings. But another edition of Can I Be Honest? You say that it's easy, but at the same time, think about does anyone else have problems socially and doing a lot of it? I
Yes.
do.
I get exhausted. Big
Yeah.
time.
And I think about these, it's not like these guys, it's just, oh, they're playing one game and they're doing this. It's not like they're
Right.
just hanging out in a
Going
hotel
from
room.
commercial shoot to
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
interviews.
This is crazy for you to
Dude,
understand.
be
Morgan.
nice. Be nice.
Well, because you're applying everything to you. And it's like, these guys are celebrities. They're used to this. This is not like, oh my God.
I
this
don't
is
think they
jarring.
enjoy it, though.
And I'm
even though they're
applying it
used
to
I
just humans.
Yeah.
Like just a human and just like being drained and being like, okay, oh
I
my
think
God.
from the spirit of the initial question, I would much rather have a vacation than be forced to work on something that isn't really, my day-to-day stuff. you
I'm
know?
there.
They all get like that bonus though, right? I mean, I think everyone gets
Sure.
a bonus,
Yeah.
which I guess goes into it. That might be one of the driving factors behind them participating. Because if you have to go, I mean, I don't want to say work for free, like going to the All-Star for free, because we know these guys get millions of
Right.
dollars in
Yeah.
their pockets. But I'd imagine that there's an extra little oomph to
Oh,
that.
for sure.
Yeah.
Better
Yeah.
be.
You get recognized by your peers. You're on national TV. It's fun for your family. It's an event. You're hanging out. It's a party. You get a couple days before and after.
All right. Mental health is just on line one for some of
Oh,
these
yeah, I know
guys.
this is a grueling. I don't know how LeBron's going to get through this. Is Sabonis going to be okay? Like, how's he going to get through this?
I guess they are so rich that they could like
I mean, what do we?
have the right people around to like put up their barriers and put up
Yes.
I
their
just think
boundaries.
they could have some pretty great vacations.
I want to see you guys.
that's my thing. It's just like I know for a fact that all of these guys would just rather go on vacation.
I need you guys when you're there to drain the hell out of all the Western Conference players, okay? Just
exhaust them with questions.
Good. Try and talk. I love you. I'm your biggest fan. And then just keep asking them.
Even when the PR people try to stop us, we keep going.
Yes.
Just keep asking questions. You can't stop us.
So the All-Star game, LeBron and Giannis are the captains, and they pick the team right before the game.
Should be awkward.
Who do you think gets picked last? There is a chance that Sabonis gets picked last, right?
Sure, yeah, especially in an all-star game. Like, that doesn't really, suit his style of play, I wouldn't say. He's probably
I just wish they would troll a little bit and, pick, we're going Kyrie last. Although, LeBron's picking Kyrie, right?
They've kind of trolled in the past. Like, LeBron and KD had that thing where they both didn't take James Harden, and then TNT guys get all involved, call him the dribbler and stuff, and they are like, just whoever gets the last pick gets James.
I love the idea of
do you
picking
like the fact that, or do you think it'll last, the fact that they pick people because somebody has to get picked last? Like that kind of, I don't think anyone remembers who gets picked last, but for sure, that could be damaging to someone's ego.
Are they going to pick them on the floor before the game?
Yes.
So they aren't going to be like, we pre-picked it and they're alphabetized, so no one knows who's picked last, because that might be something they want to avoid. I don't know.
That's stupid. No, that's part of the whole point of picking, is so we can see that. Let's be honest, the two candidates being picked last, Lowry Markkanen and Domas Sabonis.
Damn.
What about Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Jaren Jackson, possibly.
Unless there's
there
relationships.
Could be an anti-Memphis thing.
Ooh.
LeBron was just talking. I just saw a video the other day.
That'd be great if the two Memphis guys got picked last.
That's
what I want.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Full carnage.
I think that there's a good chance De'Aaron goes pretty early. I think. The all-star factor, that his skill set brings, I think is high up there.
Yeah, and LeBron is picking De'Aaron because De'Aaron's on a clutch guy.
Yep,
that's
very smart.
Smart.
Next level.
We already know the teams then.
Yeah. What about this? What about do you think it's gonna be Ty and Sabonis on the same team? Would you rather see Ty and Sabonis on the same team?
Interesting.
Or Fox and Ty reunited? I'm just trying to wonder, or all three on the same team. That's a possibility too.
Oh my God, how weird would that be?
Put them all on the same team. That'd be really
And then
cool.
it works, and people are Kings fans are just like, no.
Harrison Barnes and two firsts could have gotten Sabonis.
I don't know. I think the Pacers are 3-16. Since Halliburton
went down.
It went down. Now he's come back. They're 3-16 through that stretch.
It's great. Their true identity's coming out too, a little bit, right?
Shots fired at
a little bit.
It's not at Tyrese. I think, I think
it's the city of Indianapolis.
Yeah, yes, that's true.
Buddy Hield, by the way, last night had a pretty big game last night.
Did he really?
I think he had 19 points in the third quarter or second quarter or something like that. Yeah.
Chump.
Oh my God.
3-point champion. Buddy Hield.
Is
Is
he gonna go back to back?
Yeah,
or not back to back, but 2-time.
Yeah, 2-time. We're gonna preview some of that too. I want some predictions. We'll talk more about the NBA All-Star Game and look at the Kings' final 25 games. We'll go actually one by one. We'll predict every one of them.
Oh, good.
No, we won't. But we'll talk about the final 25. It's straight ahead. Deuce and Mo. It's Kings Roundtable on Sactown Sports.
I love this last comment here. Halliburton elbow pass to Sabonis.
That'd be awesome.
Oh my God.
Would that be awesome,
Well, no.
or would it actually crush the soul of everybody?
It would just show that Ty's still got some king in him.
Okay. Did you guys watch the Lakers last night?
Yeah.
So did it crush your soul watching Vanderbilt play
Just lock him
defense
down
on
completely.
Brandon Ingram?
Yeah.
Shut him down completely.
Dude, and I hate being that person because it's like, don't play the what if game. But I was a little sad.
It hurts seeing Sam Amick say that the Kings were disappointed. That just makes you go, man. They really.
And it takes two to tango, so whatever they weren't giving up or couldn't give up,
but that's
you
the
gotta
other thing.
Factor that in.
That if you're the Lakers trying to make that deal, the Westbrook
It was
deal,
a four-way.
It was a three or it was a three-way with Minnesota, Utah, and the Lakers. If he was part of the deal, even if Monty's like, well, I'll give you an extra second, Ainge's going, look, I'm further along here.
Right. That kind of feels like that's what happened too.
It's same with the Plumlee thing where it's like, oh my God, the Clippers only gave up a second-round pick and Reggie Jackson. Like, well, Jerry West and Mitch Kupchak kind of know each other.
Right.
If they went to Plumlee and they're like, hey, we got a shot at getting you to LA or Sacramento, he's going, okay, back up Sabonis or I could be paired with I could
Zubac.
back up Zubats, but
they're probably just splitting, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
and I can have a chance to win a championship this year. I'm going there. I think so many times fans look at the trade deadline as if it's like, all right, we're open for business. It's highest bidder. And it's like, no, there's relationships with executives, teams, agents, players. There's a lot of different factors there.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a great point. And I think that is exactly what happened with the Lakers deal and with the other deal as well.
Same with Thibault. Like if you're the Sixers and you're talking to the Kings, they got McDaniels out of it, dude. Like that was a 3-team deal and they like him. And it's like, he's long. The Kings don't have a long rangy guy that they could have given up in that deal. And so I don't know. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I mean, you have to get deals done in that, but it's also like, Monty McNair can't take some of these GMs hostage and be like, hey, give it to me, like break up this deal. If they have these larger deals, it's hard to get in on it.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, the Kings have never really been in the pole position of any of that. It never feels like they're ever, anybody's first candidate. And then I feel like we're going to see a similar situation play out in the buyout market as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The buyout market is challenging too, because the Kings have had a reputation. Like Kevin Love's a great example. Since Kevin Love's been in the league, the Kings have never been good.
No.
So, if you have Pat Riley, Spoelstra, even if you know Mike Brown, you're like, I kind of like some of these guys. You're going, I can go play significant minutes for Spoelstra in Miami or
in Miami. Yes.
With Steve Kerr, Curry, Thompson in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Established, like more.
Right.
Yeah. You see how vets end up in these places and they seem happy.
Right.
Some call them ring chasers. It doesn't matter. It's like you're trying to finish your career strong.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it too is just relationships. I mean, you see Russell Westbrook is probably going to go to the Clippers because of his relationship with Paul George. Kevin Love is rumored to go to the Lakers because of his relationship with LeBron, even though from what I understand, that was not the best.
He's just watching the Lakers last night. I'm like, man, was Rob Pelinka intentionally doing what he did in the first half of the season? Because they had Wenyen Gabriel was playing big minutes,
huge minutes.
For them. Lonnie Walker was starting, and now these guys are not even playing really. It's not Gabriel's not playing.
Why do people keep letting them do? Why are people helping the Lakers? Is my question. It's really like annoying. They really did rebuild their entire rotation at the deadline.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't work this year, it could work next year.
Right.
I mean, that would be wild. Also, in the chat, Senior Informo was saying something about Fox should poster Halliburton. That would be. I know that sounds awesome, but there's no way Halliburton's hanging with Fox all the way to the rim. Like Halliburton gets blown by, and then Fox does.
Wow. And I throw shade.
No, I was just being right.
Individual shade.
Then
right
a blow by. Then a Fox blow by.
Right. Off the glass.
Stand by.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
Oh, the slow down update. Okay.
I'm Chris VERLOD with a special Thursday chill Sactown Sports headlines.
Yes, you are.
Kings are out this week, but you can still see some of the guys this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Keegan Murray in the Rising Stars game Friday.
Rising Star.
Saturday, trying to win the 3-point contest will be Kevin Herter.
Shoot those threes.
Domas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox are in the All-Star game. Our guys, Chris Watkins and Frankie Cartoscelli, will cover everything in Salt Lake City.
Yes, they will.
For Sactown Sports. Celtics like Joe Mazzulla. So they took the interim off, gave him a contract extension. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
On Sactown Sports.
I love the chill update, man.
Speaks to me.
Yeah, a little different.
We're sports. We act like everyone else.
Sports update.
No, we can be innovative and cool. Come on now.
Appreciate you guys being here. Juice Mason, Morgan Reagan, it's the Kings Roundtable. Chris Watkins, Frankie Cartoscelli. As Chris mentioned, they could go to Salt Lake City for the NBA. Have you just thought about that for a second, man? You're going to go to the NBA All-Star game. You're going to go to the All-Star Saturday night, even though it's not like it used to be. But the Risings, all that. You guys get to be there.
It's it's crazy. Like as we get further along in what we're doing and for jobs, it does kind of put like a little bit of imposter syndrome. I think for a little bit, you kind of have to think, wow, like, this is really me going to do this. Like, yeah, we're going to All-Star Weekend, something I grew up watching my whole life. And I mean, obviously it's lost a little bit of like that, what makes it so great over the past couple of years. But I mean, I'm still going to enjoy every second of it.
The All-Star game's been fun though, with the Elam ending, right? That they've been doing. And plus, like the other perspective, and I try to have this when I go to games and big events, it's just like, dude, you can say you were watching LeBron James in an All-Star game.
Yes.
One of the great players to ever, Giannis. You get to be in the presence of some of the most elite talent to ever step on a basketball court. And oh, by the way, you're getting paid to do it. It's for like as a basketball fan. That's what I love about this business. Like, dude, we got to do some pretty cool things in this business. Experience it. You just can't take it for granted.
Think about all the people that you hear, like when they're like, "Oh, I saw Michael Jordan here, and I watched him play here." And whenever they say that, I'm always gravitating toward them and their stories. Like that is so cool. Like those are the stories that you guys are going to have throughout. I mean, not just All-Star Weekend, but just throughout your careers too. All of our careers.
No, I say it all the time. Like if I go back and tell my former self, like the possibility of doing this is there, I would do whatever it takes. And that's from someone who did apply when I was 18, right out of high school. I applied to pick up trash at Arco Arena. I thought maybe that's a way to get in, and I didn't get that job even.
There's a lot of trash there at the time too.
A lot of trash there
on the court. It was like, what?
And you still didn't get the job?
Still no. I mean, I was 18. I was out of high school. And I had no. It was just pick up trash, but
You really screwed that interview.
I really messed it up. Yeah. How do you mess? They didn't even call me though. How do you mess up a trash picker upper interview? Like, is there a strategy to pick up trash?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
that's why you didn't get the job.
I guess. I don't even know.
Exactly.
Going back to the Kings, and now you don't have to pick up trash. Hopefully,
hopefully not.
Final 25 games coming up after the break. The Kings didn't make some splashy move at the deadline. We did see Kessler Edwards last game. I actually kind of liked what I saw from him. I don't know what that means, long term, but God, long guy, played some nice defense on Booker. Booker did get him once on the drive. Of course, it's Devin Booker. He's one of the most elite players in the game. But any first impressions from Kessler Edwards minutes?
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive for sure. I definitely wasn't expecting to see real rotation minutes from him, especially not this early, but that's kind of been something that Mike Brown has talked about a couple times. He did it earlier in the season with Chima Monecki. We saw him do it with Keon Ellis as well. For him to get real rotation minutes, guard a real guy like Devin Booker, I was impressed, and I think he only ended up getting about 10 minutes. It was like the end of the third and start of the fourth or something like that, but I was impressed defensively with what he was doing, and it didn't seem like he was really trying to overexert himself. I think he took one shot, and it was a pretty open three, and he also got 2 assists as well. I was, just fitting in his role, and again, not really trying to do too much. I think is a good place to start.
I am curious how Brown handles things in the final 25 games. They've been relying a lot on Fox and Sabonis all year, right? Even in the last game was a great example of it, where Fox scores 36 against Phoenix, 35-36. He's been amazing since coming back from that time off. But man, you're leaning on these guys, Morgan. 37 minutes for Fox, 38 for Sabonis. And so I'm curious if he does tinker with the rotation at all coming out of the All-Star break.
No? Okay, hear me out on this, you guys.
I'm hearing you out.
Hear me out, guys. I think when you look at the way that Mike Brown goes through the rotation, it's the best out there. Whoever's playing, bringing the energy, the effort, whoever's going to be playing the best out there. I'm all for that life, but that's why it is important for them to keep adding, tweaking this roster, making this roster really work for a long NBA basketball season, right? So then you can trust the next guys that go in there the best, however you want to put that for them. But I think right now, I look at this season, I look at this squad, and I go, wear them out. Wear them out. I don't care if it's all the way in the postseason and they look like their legs barely work in the postseason. This isn't about a championship this year. This is about getting that experience. And how are you going to push through those fatigue moments even in the postseason? Because that's how you learn. Look, I always go back to this, but look at Jason Tatum last year in that final or in that championship game or series. And you look at how he just wasn't as conditioned as the Warriors. And I go,
He was also hurt, but yeah.
yeah, but him and the rest of that squad, they're clicking differently going into this year, going, okay, how can we make sure that we last in the postseason right there longer than the Warriors?
I agree with you on that. But to be fair, I think if anything, that's what's helped the Kings this year late in games. Fox, he's ready to go, man. It's rare he looks tired. He looked a little tired at the end of the Dallas game and that overtime win. But I mean, I think he's been in great condition. That's when you look at someone like Steph Curry, who just like, you're like, this guy doesn't stop moving. And it's hard for defenders to deal with something like that.
Yeah, and this is the time to do it, like you said, Morgan. This is the time, in my opinion, as well, that you have to play as long as you're needed.
Yeah.
And that's going to fall on the Kings, though, to kind of take care of business in some games, hopefully have some time at the end of games that Mike Brown can take those players off the floor, but they have to earn that. They have to earn that right. And also, you got to figure out what the rotation is going to be as far as who is going to be on the floor and for how long, because right now there's some question marks. I mean, Davion Mitchell, I think he played the least amount of minutes ever played in a game the other night. And you have to wonder, at what point is Davion just kind of a break glass in case of emergency and you throw him out there for defense? And is Malik Monk going to be the backup
You can't
point
do
guard?
that, man. You can't. I mean, that's what kills me is you have to, even if Davion's not part of the future of your team, if you go long-term, he's probably not, let's be honest, Davion long-term probably is like, I don't want to play behind Fox for the rest of my career. He probably believes he can be a starting point guard in the league, even though he has not been able to show that yet.
Sure.
But you got to maximize his value. Sure. And if you can get something out of him this year, it can help you so much.
It's just are you, though? Or what are you getting?
Yeah.
Right now,
no, it's
again,
fair.
And I said to someone on Twitter, like, I like Davion. I like what he brings to the table. When he's on, it's fun to watch. I mean, the defense, we all know what he brings defensively. When he can knock down threes, which he was doing for a while. For a while, he was knocking down threes. I think we were sitting at the media row, and I was like, he's shooting like 38 from three over the past month. But
he needs a rock, I think. He needs a rock. He needs to be like in a system where he can get more than 3 minutes at a time, attack the basket. Right now, he's a catch and shoot three guy, and he's not a good 3-point shooter at the NBA.
It's just not working.
You know,
going back to the trust thing too with Davion, I was telling Deuce this earlier, just about, I know we touched on it a little bit, but how Mike Brown wants to trust someone that is going to trust themselves, trust their ability to play, right? And I think Davion at times only goes, okay, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm going to play in this system and make sure that I don't go out of this box. I'm going to run the actions off of this motion offense. And I know it's free, but I got to stay with this to make sure I stay on the floor, when really that's going to play you off the floor. And keep staying on the floor is going to make sure that you're also thinking outside the box and executing whatever it is that's outside the box.
So he needs a tug on the leash a little bit, like my dog does when I get to Carlin for walks, where sometimes he gets a little excited. He's like, okay, so I got to pick up the pace a little bit. Okay.
Just like that, Deuce.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Real fast before we go to break, we do have to make some NBA All-Star predictions coming up next segment. But buyout market, Kevin Love, it sounds like he's getting bought out. Miami, it sounds like is probably a likely destination, maybe Golden State. Out of all these guys in the buyout market, from John Wall to him, Westbrook, any guys out there that you think that the Kings should target? Would you target Kevin Love?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if the player that Kevin Love is could be targeted without it being Kevin, because the name and the person Kevin Love would never come to Sacramento, in my opinion. But they need that. They need a floor spacer that can rebound. And
he can pass too.
He can pass. The defense, I don't know, but
really handsome.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I mean,
he did do some GQ stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, and the gray is really popped.
He is shape-shifted, though. Remember what he looked like during the early days?
Jason Ross, I mean, this is years ago. Jason Ross, obviously a big UCLA fan. I used to make fun of him I used to make fun of Jason all the time. I'm like, Kevin Love? This guy? He's so fat.
Sometimes,
and now it's like,
those are always the ones that just like age really nice.
Yeah. I believe they call it a glow up.
That's definitely glow up. It's like me. I've had my glow up too, for sure. Like I'm in my prime right now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I would. That'd be nice. Kevin Love would be nice. But I think, in my honest opinion, the most realistic. Just a little transit. Just move on from him. He's a handsome man. He's a good-looking guy.
No,
but
that's how I prefer.
I do think that like a realistic target, if he becomes available, I think Nerlens Noel could be out there. I mean, that's a name we hear a lot. But I mean, you have to think about who is not going to go to Miami or the Clippers or the Lakers. I mean, who will be kind of lower on that totem pole, and that's Nerlens Noel if he becomes available.
Noel, Nerlens, Noel,
come in and block shots and dunk on some people.
Yeah, back up Sabonis.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. That'd been way better.
Sorry.
We have some NBA All-Star predictions coming up next with two of the guys who will literally be at All-Star Weekend. It's the Kings Roundtable. Deuce and Mo, Frankie, and Chris on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, Kevin Love had the shaved head. Then he got thinned out.
Yep.
And then he had like the long bangs, like when they won the championship. He had like the long hair.
It was kind of long.
Really?
Yeah. Then he had like the head. He's gone through a lot of different looks.
He's hot
man.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yes, everyone. Yes. Him.
Oh, I did
That's
forget
funny.
about the long hair.
No Dunks did an all hunk team in the NBA. It's a pretty interesting list. Let's see if I can find
PJ
the all
Tucker?
hunk team.
What?
PJ Tucker?
Oh,
Really?
God.
Really?
He
PJ
is-
Tucker? What?
Okay,
Yeah.
here's who they have on the all hunk team. They've got first team Jimmy Butler,
Okay, he's good looking.
Nick
No,
Nick Claxton,
That's fine.
I feel like I haven't
But,
seen
like,
him
that's-
enough, I guess.
all right,
Yeah.
What it looks like.
Giannis.
Giannis is.
I think that's a little bit like
relatively.
his play on the floor is.
They have Raul Neto,
Oh, that's
O'Shea
just-
Agbaji from the Utah Jazz, the rookie.
Okay.
Is Kelly Oubre on there? Isn't he? Doesn't he love himself?
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Second,
Yeah, I was
well, let's
like,
get the second team.
Tsunami
Actually,
Poppy.
second team has some good names. The second team features Jalen Green. Pretty
Jalen Green.
yeah.
Oh, the Houston. I was
Yeah.
like the guy we just saw.
Morgan Jalen Green.
Okay.
Are you okay? Oh, you're getting stuff ready. I see. Okay. Devin Booker, Yuta Watanabe, Kelly Oubre on the
Yuta.
second team, Steven Adams on the second team.
It's a very
Steven
diverse
Adams.
list. Wow.
Aquaman.
Dude,
yeah.
he is
Yeah.
a very like I don't know,
Yeah.
hunkiness about him.
He's a guy again. Needs a beard, long hair. If not,
He just has a stash right now.
third team. Third team. Yeah, the third team all hunk NBA official selections by No Dunks. They have Gabe Vincent.
Wow.
Gabe Vincent's
Very
a pretty
good
looking guy.
looking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out
Okay.
Stockton.
Shout out.
Jordan Clarkson.
No.
He's just like
he DeGenerate,
he's
I
a
think,
pretty
so,
boy.
yeah.
Drew Holiday.
Drew seems like a nice guy. Sure.
Rui Hachimura.
Drew Holiday's hot. Rui, whatever.
Jeremy Grant.
Wow.
Okay.
Where's Delhi? Where's Delhi on this
And,
list? Man?
I'm not a deli guy.
And Jalen Duren, the rookie. Jalen Duren's a handsome young
So
man.
Yeah.
Michael, I've asked my girlfriend about
Yeah,
this
where's
before.
Kevin Love is the question.
Who's like the most attractive current king?
Let me look at the.
I think she said Sabonis. Sabonis has the blue
Allie-
eyes.
Allie
He's got
loves Sabonis,
nice
yeah.
looking hair.
another example.
Verlod,
that
any
without the beard.
That's a bonus.
Doesn't
Kessler
matter without
Edwards,
the
I think,
beard.
is a
If they have
good-looking
the
guy.
beard, Yeah.
It's Harrison Barnes.
Oh,
It's
Oh,
Harrison
HB's
Barnes.
got a very
He's
like
a
he's very put
model.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
style.
he got the
GQ.
suits on. Yeah, for sure.
He be
When he
GQ.
shows up pregame.
This is great.
When he
All-
wins Finals
all hung
MVP for
team.
the Kings, he'll be on GQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys have any thoughts too on the all hung team in the chat,
Please,
let us
yeah.
know and hit the thumbs up button.
De'Aaron with hair, without hair. I think with hair
HB is definitely the leader in that.
in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
I'd say Davion.
Davion's good looking. I mean, I feel like this team is very good looking. So
Who's the least attractive?
I see. I could have a first, second, third team all NBA.
wow.
Yeah, but that's mean.
That
I
is.
feel like you can't do that anymore, can you?
What? First team
Ugly?
like ugly? Yeah. No. You can't. That's messed up.
They're millionaires, man. You know, just let it
but
fly.
it's mean though,
The-
right?
You know what? But we're like as I
It's
would not.
subjective.
Here's the thing. I like. It's been fun. I've been objectifying so many NBA like athletes lately.
Okay.
And referees. Zach Zarba, call me.
Wow.
But and some people have called me out because they're like, you hate it when you do it. But I'm like, yeah. But I'm joking. It's
Right.
comedy where people when they're doing it, they're serious.
Yeah.
They're like, they're trying to belittle and like say you're here because you're not sexy and you're this and this is what you should be. And it's like,
Right.
okay, calm down. But yeah, it's all fun and jokes when I objectify people.
Except Zach Zarba.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Mo's
very
minute. It's time to
Brought to you
take that
by-
one deep breath. My team right here, I'm going to need you to go in through the nose, out through the mouth.
Thomas wants to know why this is a topic.
Namaste.
Why not?
Yeah, why
That's
not?
the real question. Why isn't it?
Yeah, it's All-Star weekend where you're talking about All-Stars. We can mention our all NBA hunk team.
All NBA.
Yeah.
hunks.
Yeah.
Do you feel better after that deep breath?
Oh, always. Honestly,
I
it's
stand by
helped
it.
me every time.
Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sactown Sports.
Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, the Kings Roundtable rolls on with Frankie and Chris. They will be at All-Star Weekend. We got some All-Star predictions coming up in just a second. Can't believe the All-Star game's here and only 25 games left in the Sacramento Kings season. I know you guys talked about how excited you guys are about being at the All-Star. How excited is your mom that you're going to the All-Star Weekend?
Very excited.
Is she like super pumped up?
Yeah, she's excited. I mean, obviously now that we know who's going to be going and that there's
Why are you
every single
laughing,
day.
Chris? What is
Morgan's comment?
Just Frankie's mom, man.
Okay.
You guys have to have her on sometime, honestly.
Oh,
we should. Well,
she
Morgan
can sit right here. She
Yeah.
can take my
That would
spot.
be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Morgan actually, I guess, apparently wrote a song in honor of
Whoa.
your mom. I don't.
We're beaming.
Why not?
Okay.
Is that why I'm here?
It's for Frankie's mom.
Frankie, where does your mom go after school?
After school.
I just think that she's really cool.
Really cool.
Did your mom get tickets to another game?
Another game.
Oh, don't you worry, I will keep things tame.
She's keeping it tame.
Now you know it's not that she's just the hottest thing. I love everything about her and most her energy. Frankie's mom has got it going on. She's the nicest one and happens to be hot. Frankie, can't you see? She's the best Cartoscelli. No, it might be strong, but light the beam for Frankie's mom.
Yes, there you go. That was sweet.
That was great.
And for those who
Your
don't
mom's
remember,
hot.
yeah,
Good lyrics.
Frankie's mom was at the Kings game the other night. Came up to us, said hi, and she's really proud of Frankie, and she should be because he's going to All-Star Weekend.
So cool.
And you felt the need to write a song for her.
Well,
That was
Do you,
I
sweet.
mean-
do you want to know something right now?
What?
That song has been sang to me in similar fashion since I was probably like
You
in
know what?
second grade.
with those great lyrics.
Not with
though?
those
Yeah,
lyrics.
How
that
good
was
were those
pretty
That's a
lyrics?
twist.
I said
was
light the beam for
Yeah,
Frankie's
that was-
mom, and I don't light the beam.
I gotta
for
be
Frankie.
honest.
Never, right.
That's
Thank you.
that is
Do you think
impressive.
she's
right.
Is she gonna cry when she hears that later?
She might play that over like a million times.
Yes,
Might be a
yes.
remix.
And I might never listen to it again.
Yes,
But
you're welcome, Frankie.
kudos to the writing, and
Oh,
now I
thanks.
need to go to therapy later
Just-
today.
Good job on Verlod for the backup vocals also.
Backup vocals made it probably better for you guys, worse for me.
Yeah.
A lot of
Was that bad?
that
That was really a sweet message.
Oh my goodness! Let me take myself out of it
Yeah,
and say that
yeah, yeah.
you know I would have loved that if I was you.
Yeah.
Probably Chris is probably loving it. Let's
My mom's also a beautiful woman.
yeah. Let's talk
Just
about
like
let's
this.
get Chris's
Wait a
mom. I
minute.
know she-
We
I
gotta
haven't
meet
met
her.
her yet. Yeah. So
Okay,
Mom, you
time
got to
out.
make your way out.
I feel like you're making this act like Morgan was making all about your mom's look. I think she was just saying Frankie's
Her
mom's
best
ugly.
thing is her
person.
energy.
Yeah,
She's the
You weren't
best
listening to the
Cartoscelli.
lyrics.
No, I wasn't.
No, you just heard hot, and you were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're like, oh man.
He was
that's
triggered
like,
by the
well,
actual
yeah.
song.
The,
the way-
the actual song, yeah, it's Stacy's mom. And
He's
it
triggered.
was again.
Yeah.
It was saying to me. I'm telling you, my friends are listening to this. They would sing that to me
Ugh.
the similar way.
You got some
Frankie's
good
mom's got it
friends.
going on. For
Well, with you guys being at the NBA All-Star Game coming up this weekend, and I expect a lot of coverage on SactownSports.com. I mean, you're gonna be cranking out stuff left and right.
absolutely, yeah.
Is
We're moving on. We're moving on from the
Yeah,
whole thing. Okay.
yeah.
Let me recalibrate here.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to be doing, I mean, whether it be rookie game tomorrow, we have Kevin Herter on Saturday, which I'm looking forward to. A lot of
Yeah.
three-point shootout. And then the game on Sunday, we'll be recording a podcast. We'll be doing some other stuff with Matt
Yes.
George, other guys that are going to be in Kings Media. We'll be doing some things. So
Oh,
I
wow.
do have one question
Okay.
request.
Sure.
Could you guys please do a behind the scenes TikTok of the whole weekend? Just like
It'll be
shoot
my
some
first.
things.
I've never made a TikTok.
And make
before
it a
in my life.
reel. I don't care.
And just to be clear, you don't have to actually like record on your phone, do a TikTok. Like you don't have to be in TikTok doing just record.
Right, you can just
little-
record
Yeah,
video.
and
yeah.
right?
edit
We'll
it
talk
together.
about that.
Okay.
I just,
Absolutely.
I'm really curious
'Cause,
about
yeah, you guys.
Cool.
your weekend.
Okay,
have
yeah.
you guys been to an All-Star game?
No, we have
No.
not.
How are we
No.
going one before you guys? That's the real question. I mean, you guys, like, you've been everywhere. Like, not an All-Star
Yeah,
game?
it's not
We're just
rubbing.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
no, we're-
hey,
yeah,
rubbing
yeah.
it. Oh, it's because I sang a
Let's-
song
Oh,
about
yeah.
your mom.
It's because of the light show and the
Whoa,
production
how
about my mom.
embarrassing for you guys.
Let's talk about what's coming up this weekend. All-Star Saturday night. We can't really predict the Rising Stars game. That's just fun, whatever.
I got Team Gasol, by the way.
I've been saying the whole show, like, we're going to be represented in all these. Sacramento's going to be represented in the celebrity game.
We are.
Hassan
Hassan
Minhaj.
Minhaj.
Yeah, that's right. That's
That's
another one.
cool.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
cool.
That's a big one. That's a big get. And Ben Affleck is announcing.
Ben
those guys,
Affleck
yeah.
will be
And
announcing.
Ben
is announcing-
Diesel's
Wait.
yeah.
Ben Affleck? What?
He's announcing
Correct.
the
Rising
Celebrity
or
game.
Celebrity game, yeah.
Okay, well, we got to go to the celebrity game.
yeah. Are
Bring-
you're a big fan?
No, I'm not, but
Okay.
I'll bring him some Dunkin' Donuts. and we'll-
I want to get some of your guys' predictions for All-Star Saturday Night. The dunk
Okay.
contest. The dunk contest. KJ Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, please remind me who's in this. please.
KJ Martin dunked on Sabonis' head earlier this year. No one talks about that in Sacramento. Trey Murphy, Mac McClung, who just signed a two-way contract with the Sixers, and Jericho Sims. I already have who I can tell you who is going to win this.
Okay.
It's Mac McClung.
Okay. I was going to say, you guys, in
guys are
game,
sleeping.
Get ready.
bounce.
I know he's got
Get
bounce.
ready.
Ball his
ready.
life. When he was in high school, he ran it.
We've been
pretty
hearing
much.
about Mac McClung for honestly like more than 5 years now, since I think he was coming out of high school. This is
Yeah.
his moment. This
He's
is
an
like
NBA
this
player.
is where he can
This
put
is
his
literally
stamp
his moment.
on. It's Mac McClung. Like it's the Mac McClung dunk contest. So
Yeah.
I'm expecting big things.
I like Jericho Sims. I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, Jericho Sims
Yeah.
is in it.
I mean, he had I remember he got really he went viral for his Clutch Sports workout last year after
Yeah.
the draft, where people were asking like, is this a 9-foot rim? Because he was throwing it off the glass and like had his chin above
And
the
that's
rim.
how he's going to have to win it, right?
Exactly. Well, and
Because
that's
I
how
think
Dwight
it's-
got it over Nate. Like it could be a similar situation where like, Mac's a smaller guy. Usually when you for the dunk contest, it just looks better when you're smaller. So that's kind of in Mac's favor. But
Look,
big guys, if you do anything, it looks more
Yeah,
difficult.
I do think big guys have a tougher time in dunk contests.
I mean, yeah, it's just
'cause
it's
they-
harder
yeah.
to maneuver your body when you're that large.
I've got
You can't-
McClung. If Shaden Sharp was there, maybe it'd
Oh,
be
I'd go
different,
Shaden.
but I go Mac
I'd go
McClung.
Shaden every day of
You,
the
who do you have?
I'm going McClung.
I'm gonna go Jericho Sims.
McClung.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna be three people with McClung. Okay, 3-point contest. Kevin Huerter, Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard, Tyler Hero, Lowry Markkanen with the home court advantage, Buddy Hield, Jason Tatum, and the newest member of the 3-point shootout, Julius Randle.
I'm going Julius Randle.
Yeah, let's go ahead and throw Randall out there real quick. I'm going Dame.
That's where I was.
I'm pulling for Kevin. Really am. I have a feeling Dame's the guy.
Yeah.
Who's gonna come out on top.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Dame too. It just feels like he can be like the most explosive, and like with a 3-point shootout, it's all about once you get into the rhythm, it's over because then you hit 10 shots in a row.
Buddy is a threat as well.
I was going to say,
Buddy's a
what if
threat.
it's Buddy?
It might be Buddy.
What will you do?
It's Lowry Markkanen.
Oh.
He's at home. He's
Okay.
used to
The
it.
fix
It's
is
just-
in?
it's- He's good,
The fix is in.
Wow.
And he's a great
I can see it,
shooter.
right. He's a great shooter,
I mean,
right.
he-
Yeah,
how
that's
big
the
who
second
can
part of
shoot.
it.
I think he
All-star
can-
starter.
All-star starter, Lowry Markkanen.
Mm.
It's pretty amazing. I got Markkanen winning.
Okay.
Skills challenge is kind of weird this year.
I don't
What
like
are
it.
they
Yeah,
doing?
Team Antetokounmpo with featuring Alex Giannis and Thanasis.
Oh,
Thanasis.
they did
excuse me.
this. Yeah.
The Utah Jazz, Jordan Clarkson, Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton, and then the rookie team of Paolo Banchero, Jaden Ivey, and Jabari Smith. I don't even know. I mean,
So is it a team wins?
Yeah, it's a team.
Yeah,
'Cause they
Why
did
they
it
do
last
this?
year
Why
too.
did
It
they
was
do
so
this?
strange because the Antetokounmpos did it last year as well.
Nepotism is real.
I gotta get the rookies in this one.
I'm going rookies.
When I look at the rookies' names, I'm just like, yeah, you feel like they're going to try the hardest. They're going to be
Right.
sharp with it.
That's the key. The effort is the key, especially for
It is.
the skills challenge. Like the first, 2 people will just not care at all, walk through it, and then usually the rookies, because they just don't know any better, will be going full effort, full tilt. Rookies is probably a good shout, but I think I'm gonna go the Antetokounmpos.
Well,
They have the experience.
You guys enjoy it. Soak every minute up. It's going to be fun. I'm happy to see you guys are going. I'm also excited to see what you guys do out there. And I know you guys, I'm getting choked up talking about it.
All right.
You're going to be on with Rami coming up.
Yeah,
a little bit
another
too.
hour.
Let's do it.
2 for Chris.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Make sure you're locked into SactownSports.com all weekend long. We love you guys so much. We are off Friday and Monday. This show will be back on Tuesday. Don't miss us too much.
Don't miss us too much.
We love you, but we got to go.
See ya!
Bye.